Michelle Reyes encounter. When a passenger on an aircraft witnessed what appeared to be a UFO soaring above New York, she accidentally photographed one of the most talked about UFO images in recent years. The images were shared to hundreds of groups that investigate UFOs, and it's been hailed as one of the clearest images of a cigar-shaped UFO. Michelle Reyes posted on Facebook that she saw a mysterious flying cylinder through the window of her commercial aircraft on March 25th while it was cruising above LaGuardia Airport. She told news outlets that the first thing she did was email the Federal Aviation Administration to let them know what she saw. Oddly enough, she said that she didn't hear back from them. She claimed that another passenger on the aircraft was astounded to see the mysterious object. After seeing the video, Thomas Wertman, the state director of the Mutual UFO Network in Ohio, stated that the dark object was relatively close to the jet and was moving at a height of about 2,500 feet. According to Wertman, the object's shape, height, and proximity to a busy commercial flight path seem to rule out the possibility that it is a news helicopter, drone, or military aircraft. He said that it's not legal for drones to fly at that altitude, and it shouldn't be this close to a major flight lane if it had to do with military defense or law enforcement. According to Wertman, who has spent years searching the skies for signs of unidentified objects, that could be a potential hazard. He found the object's peculiar spherical shape to be intriguing because it refutes the notion that it was a second plane captured on camera at an unexpected angle. He added that he doesn't see any features like wings or a tail, so it does not appear to be a commercial aircraft. When the video was taken, Reyes's plane was probably traveling at 230 miles per hour and was about 15 minutes away from LaGuardia Airport. Disc-shaped UFO photographed dropping mysterious orb. Wiltshire, England, is a region steeped in ancient history and mystery, home to the iconic Stonehenge and a hotbed of crop circle formations. Adding to its mysterious allure, a recent event has captivated the imaginations of locals and UFO enthusiasts worldwide. Witnesses reported seeing a disc-shaped UFO releasing a glowing orb above the picturesque countryside. On a clear summer evening in July, as the sun began to set over the rolling hills of Wiltshire, several residents in the town of Avebury reported seeing an unusual object in the sky. Among the witnesses was Sarah Johnson, a local schoolteacher. The object, described as a disc-shaped craft with a metallic sheen, was unlike any conventional aircraft. It moved silently and effortlessly through the sky, drawing the attention of other passers-by who stopped to observe the spectacle. As the UFO hovered, it began to release a smaller, glowing orb. The orb, emitting a brilliant white light, descended slowly before darting off at an incredible speed, leaving the witnesses in awe. Eyewitnesses provided detailed and consistent descriptions of the event, lending credibility to the sighting. Sarah Johnson recalled that it was unlike anything they had ever seen, adding that the disc was smooth and shiny, and the orb it released was glowing. Another witness, David Clark, a retired engineer, said that the craft was definitely not a plane or a helicopter. The way it hovered and the silence of its movement were not like any conventional aircraft he had seen. He added that when the orb shot out, it was as if it defied the laws of physics. These accounts were corroborated by multiple individuals, all describing a similar sequence of events. The consistency and detail in the reports suggest that the sighting was not a mere illusion or a product of mass hysteria, but a genuine, unexplained phenomenon. The Wiltshire encounter has significant implications for UFO research, contributing to the growing body of evidence that challenges our understanding of aerial phenomena. The disc-shaped UFO and the glowing orb exhibited advanced technological capabilities that surpass current human engineering. The silent, hovering, rapid acceleration, and precise movement of the objects suggest the use of propulsion systems and materials that are not yet known to science. The mysterious object above Balwin. From his garden in the Melbourne suburb of Balwin, a businessman captured this unusual object in the shape of a bell. The photograph was taken with a Polaroid camera a short while after 2 in the afternoon on April 2, 1966. The suburb of Balwin in Melbourne, Australia, known for its peaceful residential neighbourhoods and vibrant community, has recently gained attention for an entirely different reason. Reports of unidentified flying objects seen hovering above Balwin have sparked intrigue and speculation among residents and UFO enthusiasts alike. Over the last 60 years, hundreds of residents of Balwin have reported seeing strange objects in the sky, often during the late evening or early morning hours. These sightings have been characterized by the presence of bright, hovering lights and unusual flight patterns that do not correspond to any known aircraft. One of the most compelling accounts comes from Jessica Nguyen, a local who observed a series of bright lights moving erratically across the sky. Another resident, Michael Thompson, reported seeing a disc-shaped object with pulsating lights. The reports of UFO sightings in Balwin have prompted investigations from both local authorities and independent researchers. While some explanations have been proposed, none have definitively accounted for all the sightings. One of the most intriguing ideas that have been put forward is that the sightings represent genuine encounters with advanced spacecraft. Proponents of this theory point to the consistency and credibility of the eyewitness accounts, arguing that the observed objects exhibit characteristics beyond current human technology. While there is no concrete evidence to support this theory, it remains a possibility that cannot be entirely dismissed. The realm of outer space has always been a reservoir of mysteries, home to awe-inspiring phenomena that challenge our understanding of the cosmos. One such incident occurred when a large, unidentified object made an appearance on the live camera feed from the International Space Station. This occurrence has incited intrigue and speculation, prompting us to explore the nature of this event and its implications. As of right now, people are struggling to explain what this object is. Those interested in the unknown have said that this isn't the first time that something strange has been detected by the International Space Station cameras. While skeptics have said that it's likely space debris, a camera glitch, or part of the International Space Station. Firstly, let's consider the nature of this incident. The live camera feed from the International Space Station, accessible to the public, offers a unique perspective on our planet and the expanse of space. On this particular day, an anomalous object, significantly larger than the usual specks of light or fleeting shadows seen in the camera feed, made an appearance. The sight of this unidentified object triggered an immediate flurry of excitement, speculation, and numerous hypotheses about its possible origins. Those inclined to believe in advanced visitation saw it as potential evidence of a spacecraft. The size and visibility of the object, coupled with its location in the vicinity of the space station, bolstered their claims. The sighting was proposed as an indication of advanced civilizations showing interest in human space activities, or perhaps observing Earth. Moreover, such incidents serve as reminders of the vastness of space and the multitude of phenomena yet to be understood. They highlight the need for continued space exploration and scientific investigation, driven by our inherent curiosity and the desire to understand the cosmos better. Oddly enough, shortly after this object was seen, the live camera's broadcast was switched off. First and foremost, it's important to realize that maintaining a live feed from space is no small task. It requires a seamless interplay of advanced technology, terrestrial infrastructure, and space-based equipment. Disruptions in the live feed can be triggered by numerous factors unrelated to the appearance of unidentified objects, such as equipment malfunction, data transmission loss, or software issues. An unidentified object's sudden appearance could be of significant scientific interest. Pausing the live feed allows scientists to study the event in more detail, potentially using specialized equipment or techniques. This helps ensure that an accurate understanding is derived, unhampered by public opinion or premature conclusions. The airspace around the Earth isn't just a scientific interest, it's also a domain of national security. If an object is detected that could potentially be related to covert activities or unknown technology, it's plausible that the live feed would be stopped to allow for private, secure analysis by appropriate authorities. While it may seem counterintuitive, temporarily suspending the live feed during a sighting might be a strategy to maintain public trust. If an object cannot be immediately identified and explained, leaving the feed running might lead to rampant speculation, confusion, or even panic. Ensuring they have all the facts before making a public statement allows NASA to provide accurate information, upholding their role as a reliable source of scientific knowledge. Of course, the most captivating theory is that NASA is hiding evidence of extraterrestrial life. While this idea is thrilling, it's worth noting that such a discovery would be a landmark scientific achievement, unlikely to be concealed. The idea of unidentified objects has captivated human imagination for decades. While many sightings on Earth remain disputed, an intriguing and lesser-known phenomenon involves unidentified objects appearing near the International Space Station. The International Space Station, a collaborative space endeavor involving multiple nations, orbits Earth approximately every 90 minutes, enabling astronauts to witness breathtaking views of our planet. However, among these extraordinary vistas, some astronauts have reported witnessing peculiar unidentified objects traversing the cosmos. These mysterious sightings at the space station have sparked curiosity and concern among both scientists and the public as they challenge conventional beliefs about the existence of advanced life. Since the International Space Station's inception in 1998, there have been several instances where astronauts have claimed to witness unidentified objects during their missions. In 2005, astronaut Leroy Chiao captured video footage showing a strange, fast-moving object outside the space station. Similarly, during a live broadcast in 2016, astronaut Jeff Williams observed a mysterious glowing object that he could not explain. Moreover, in 2020, astronaut Chris Cassidy reported seeing an unidentified object with a frosted appearance while conducting a spacewalk. These accounts are compelling, given that they come from highly trained professionals with keen eyes and scientific backgrounds. When confronted with reports of sightings at the space station, scientists and experts have proposed various potential explanations to rationalize these enigmatic occurrences. One plausible reason for such sightings could be space debris, fragments from defunct satellites or rocket stages. As the International Space Station operates in low Earth orbit, it is susceptible to encountering debris, which might appear as fast-moving objects. Another possibility is that some of the sightings might be optical illusions or natural phenomena that astronauts misinterpreted as unidentified objects in the vastness of space. Cosmic rays, reflections from spacecraft windows, or atmospheric distortions could distort astronauts' perceptions, leading them to believe they spotted unidentified objects. Nonetheless, there remains a subset of sightings that defy conventional explanations, challenging our current understanding of the cosmos. These sightings continue to intrigue researchers and the public, spurring further investigation into the existence of advanced life and civilizations beyond Earth. The discovery of advanced life is a profound question that has fascinated humanity for centuries. The prospect of unidentified objects at the International Space Station adds a new dimension to the quest for answers about life beyond Earth. If these objects are indeed advanced spacecrafts, it could revolutionize our understanding of the universe and our place within it. The possible existence of intelligent life raises questions about the origin, evolution, and distribution of life in the cosmos. If these sightings at the International Space Station are evidence of advanced civilizations, it suggests that our galaxy could be teeming with advanced beings, each with its unique history and culture. This potential revelation challenges our anthropocentric view of the universe and humbles us to contemplate our significance in the vastness of space. Moreover, these sightings at the space station also highlight the importance of international cooperation in space exploration and the need for greater collaboration in addressing the mysteries of the universe. The International Space Station itself stands as a symbol of unity among nations, showcasing the potential for global cooperation in the exploration of space and the pursuit of knowledge. As of right now, unidentified object sightings at the International Space Station are a perplexing and captivating aspect of space exploration. While some of these sightings can be explained by space debris or optical illusions, a subset remains unexplained, stimulating curiosity about the possibility of advanced life. Whether these sightings will ultimately be attributed to advanced civilizations or simply remain an enigmatic aspect of our cosmic journey, they have already left an indelible mark on our understanding of the universe and our place within it. The quest to comprehend these sightings serves as a reminder of the ever-present mystery and wonder that lies beyond our planet's boundaries, urging us to continue exploring the cosmos with an open mind and a sense of wonder. This mysterious photograph has just been posted on social media, showing what appears to be a massive object hovering close to the moon. Oddly enough, this isn't the first time that mysterious objects have been seen close to the moon, and it's caused some users to suggest that this may be an unidentified object. Those who've studied the unknown have reported that the moon is a hotspot, and that every year thousands of mysterious objects can be seen close to it. Unidentified objects have sparked intrigue and controversy for decades. Although they are most commonly associated with sightings in Earth's atmosphere, numerous accounts over the years have reported unidentified objects in the proximity of Earth's natural satellite, the Moon. Reports of mysterious aircrafts near the Moon have been made by astronauts, astronomers, and casual observers alike. The Moon's relative proximity, combined with its lack of atmosphere, makes it a perfect backdrop for observing anomalies. Often, these observations are of unexpected objects moving across the lunar surface or near the lunar horizon. There are multiple reasons that could potentially explain these sightings. Firstly, it is essential to clarify that many sightings can be explained by natural or man-made phenomena. For example, satellites and space debris in Earth's orbit could easily be mistaken for unidentified objects when they pass between an observer and the Moon. Another explanation could be related to optical illusions or misinterpretations of natural lunar phenomena. The human brain is predisposed to identify patterns, even where none exist, a phenomenon known as pareidolia. This could lead to interpreting shadows or irregular lunar features as foreign objects. Lunar transient phenomena, temporary changes in the lunar surface's appearance due to outgassing or impacts, might also be misinterpreted as mysterious activity. Despite these potential explanations, some argue that a subset of lunar sightings cannot be easily dismissed. Astronauts of Apollo missions have reported seeing flashing lights and other unexplained phenomena during their lunar voyages. While some of these instances were likely attributable to cosmic rays hitting their retinas, others remain unexplained. Notably, though, none of the Apollo missions reported sightings that would unequivocally indicate the presence of advanced crafts. In the broader context, the attention given to sightings near the Moon reflects humanity's enduring fascination with the possibility of advanced life. It's a curiosity that drives not only the passionate debates over individual sightings, but also more substantial scientific endeavors, like the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. As we continue to explore our universe, the question of extraterrestrial life remains one of the most compelling unsolved mysteries of our time. As of right now, while most mysterious objects seen close to the lunar surface can be attributed to man-made or natural phenomena, some instances remain unexplained, contributing to ongoing discussions about advanced life. These sightings underscore the importance of vigilant observation and open-minded inquiry as we continue our exploration of the cosmos. Whether these unexplained instances are evidence of extraterrestrial civilizations, however, remains to be proven. As of now, the extraordinary claim of extraterrestrial presence in our cosmic neighborhood still requires extraordinary evidence. The quest for understanding the unknown has always propelled humanity's foray into space. Astronauts, as the frontiersmen of this cosmic voyage, have occasionally reported encounters with unidentified objects, spurring fascination and debate. Astronauts from various space missions have reported encountering objects or phenomena that they could not readily identify. Perhaps the most famous of these is the account of the Apollo 11 mission. Buzz Aldrin, the lunar module pilot, reported seeing a light that seemed to be following their spacecraft en route to the Moon. However, after careful analysis, it was concluded that what they were likely seeing was sunlight reflecting off an adapter panel jettisoned earlier in the mission. Similarly, during the STS-48 mission of the Space Shuttle Discovery, video footage captured several objects moving in unusual paths. While some enthusiasts interpret this as evidence of advanced activity, NASA scientists maintain that the objects were small ice particles disturbed by the shuttle's thrusters. Astronaut Gordon Cooper also reported a sighting during his Mercury mission in 1963. He claimed to have seen a greenish object approach his capsule, which was also picked up by the tracking station in Australia. However, no conclusive evidence has emerged to identify the object. Furthermore, space agencies like NASA conduct rigorous follow-up investigations to identify any unexplained phenomena. Often, these investigations provide plausible explanations, although in some cases, like Cooper's sightings, the phenomena remain unexplained. In a broader context, these astronaut accounts emphasize the importance of open inquiry and the need for rigorous, evidence-based investigation in our exploration of space. Every unknown object or phenomenon represents a potential opportunity for new discoveries, whether about our own technology, the nature of space, or possibly even advanced life. The International Space Station, an orbiting laboratory for international collaborative research, has become an unexpected focal point in discussions surrounding unidentified objects. Reports of sightings around the International Space Station have abounded since the station's inception, fueled by both astronaut accounts and public access to live feed cameras on the International Space Station. The sightings range from unexpected light phenomena to objects appearing to move in intelligent ways. It's speculated that if these mysterious objects are indeed evidence of advanced life, their interest could stem from a desire to understand our level of technological development, much like how we would be intrigued by alien technology. The International Space Station represents a significant achievement in human technology and international cooperation, making it an intriguing subject for observation from an outsider's perspective. It's where we conduct research in various disciplines, including biology, physics, and astronomy. Advanced civilizations might be interested in monitoring our progress, particularly as the International Space Station represents our most advanced foothold in space to date. Software artifacts or glitches in the live feed can also create the illusion of unexplained phenomena, For instance, abrupt cuts in the live feed, often claimed to be deliberate attempts by NASA to hide evidence of these aircrafts, are usually due to loss of signal or transitions between different cameras. That said, some sightings in the vicinity of the International Space Station do remain unexplained and are cause for scientific curiosity.
Elon Musk's first human colony on Mars would have to survive on a vegan diet. It could not be anything more like a movie. Elon Musk recently announced that future Martians will survive by growing their own food in solar-powered hydroponic glass dome farms. As a result, meat will not be on the menu, and these first people on Mars will have to survive on a completely vegan diet. Musk does say, at least for the moment, that it will likely only be the first 100 people on Mars who are limited to fully vegan cuisine, owing simply to the extremely high levels of power which will be required to run and maintain the self-sustaining farms, combined with the obviously limited resources. For example, a study written by John Strickland from the National Space Society outlined the fact that you would halve the number of people domes could sustain if they also required meat and fish compared to a vegan diet. Similarly, it is also thought that if people did stick to a plant-only diet, a 0.3 square mile farm with 4 levels to it could feed a colony of approximately 5,000. However, Musk does not foresee glass domes being the story of life on Mars forever, and rather suggests them to be a form of temporary habitats for the first cohort of people to help develop more permanent infrastructure on the red planet. With Starship, the Mars rocket, looking highly likely to be ready for its first test orbit sometime this year, the possibility of life on Mars is becoming increasingly real. Therefore, preparing for other logistical details, such as how to then survive once you have reached Mars, will be the next groundbreaking research needed in the field to continue expanding our horizons, quite literally. Plans for life on Mars are wide and varied. China, United States, and the United Arab Emirates all have plans to succeed at cracking human travel to Mars by 2040, and the UAE has gone so far as to plan future civilization on the red planet. However, Musk is currently making headway and has the most aggressive plan, aiming to get a human crew to Mars by 2026 and an established thriving city by 2050. With international involvement creating even more competition and incentive to be the first to Mars and first to facilitate life on Mars too.
The subject of unidentified objects has long captivated the human imagination, sparking discussions about the existence of advanced life and technologies. In recent years, numerous sightings have been reported worldwide, with some incidents involving unidentified objects hovering near sensitive areas such as military bases and nuclear facilities. One particularly compelling case took place above a nuclear power plant in China, where a pyramid-shaped object was observed hovering. The incident in question occurred in China, near a nuclear power plant. Someone on social media posted the photographs, saying that a group of plant workers and security personnel witnessed an extraordinary sight: a pyramid-shaped aircraft hovering above the facility. The object was described as being approximately 50 meters in height, with a distinct pyramidal structure and a dark metallic surface. Oddly enough, the workers detailed that a small object, described as being a black orb, could be seen flying around the larger pyramid-shaped object. The sighting lasted for several minutes, during which time the plant's employees captured footage of the pyramid-shaped object. The footage circulated widely on social media and drew significant attention from those interested in the unknown. An unidentified object sighted near a nuclear power plant carries a multitude of potential implications, both for national security and our understanding of advanced technologies. While the incident in China did not result in any adverse effects on the nuclear facility, it does raise several noteworthy points for consideration. The presence of an unidentified object near a nuclear power plant is a matter of national security concern. Nuclear power plants house sensitive equipment and materials, making them potential targets for espionage, sabotage, or other malicious activities. The appearance of a pyramid-shaped object in proximity to such a facility could signify a threat or at least warrant further investigation into potential security breaches. If the pyramid-shaped object was not of human origin, its presence suggests the existence of highly advanced technology. Such advanced technology could have implications for humanity's understanding of propulsion, energy generation, and interstellar travel. Research into the technology of these unidentified objects could lead to significant scientific breakthroughs. These sightings near critical infrastructure should prompt governments to adopt more transparent policies regarding the investigation and reporting of such incidents. Oddly enough, former military workers have said that seeing unidentified objects above military sites is not uncommon, and further added that it's like these objects are curious about these sites. Given the potential global implications of these mysterious objects, international cooperation in investigating and sharing data about these phenomena becomes increasingly important. To address the sighting of a pyramid-shaped, unidentified object above a Chinese nuclear power plant and other similar incidents, a comprehensive investigation is essential. Such an investigation should involve multiple stakeholders, including government agencies, scientific experts, and international organizations. Nations should collaborate on studying these sightings near sensitive sites, sharing data, and establishing a standardized protocol for reporting and investigating such incidents. Leading scientists and researchers in relevant fields should be engaged to analyze the available data and evaluate the potential implications of unidentified object sightings, along with working out how they were able to enter restricted airspace without being detected. Advanced methodologies should be employed to study these phenomena. Governments should commit to greater transparency and disclosure regarding these sightings, particularly those occurring near critical infrastructure. This includes releasing unclassified information, declassifying relevant documents, and making data accessible to the public. As of right now, the sighting of a pyramid-shaped unidentified object hovering above a Chinese nuclear power plant serves as a stark reminder of the mysteries that continue to surround the phenomena. While the incident did not result in any immediate harm, it underscores the need for comprehensive investigations, international collaboration, and greater transparency in addressing such occurrences. Whether these sightings are attributed to advanced technologies, secret military projects, or natural phenomena, their implications for national security and scientific inquiry are significant. Pyramid-shaped, unidentified object sightings have been documented since the mid-20th century. One of the most famous cases occurred on November 17, 1989, in Voronezh, Russia, with perhaps the most well-known sighting occurring above Moscow's Kremlin. Witnesses reported seeing a massive pyramid-shaped object hovering in the sky. During the Voronezh incident, the object landed, and 3 humanoid beings emerged, adding a layer of intrigue to the already baffling sighting. While skeptics argue that such accounts may be the result of mass hysteria or misperceptions, the Voronezh incident remains a compelling example of the pyramid-shaped phenomenon. Another notable sighting occurred in the United States in March 2000. Over the state of Illinois, multiple witnesses observed a large black pyramid-shaped object silently gliding through the night sky. The witnesses described the object as having a matte black surface with no visible lights or windows. This case gained attention due to the credibility of the eyewitnesses, including law enforcement officers and pilots who were unable to identify the mysterious craft. The existence of pyramid-shaped unidentified objects raises numerous questions, and various theories attempt to explain their origin and purpose. One prevailing theory suggests that these pyramid-shaped objects are advanced spacecraft created by advanced civilizations. Proponents of this theory argue that the design of such craft might be more efficient for interstellar travel than traditional saucer shapes, allowing for smoother entry and exit from planetary atmospheres. Skeptics propose that these pyramid-shaped objects may be secret military aircraft developed by human governments. The lack of public knowledge about advanced aerospace projects could explain the secrecy surrounding these craft. However, proponents of this theory counter that the technology displayed by pyramid-shaped unidentified objects exceeds what is publicly known, making it unlikely that they are purely human-made. Some argue that pyramid-shaped objects could be the result of natural phenomena or atmospheric conditions. These sightings might be optical illusions caused by unusual cloud formations, weather patterns, or even reflected sunlight. While this theory may explain some sightings, it doesn't account for the consistency and advanced flight capabilities reported by witnesses, with pilots saying that they've witnessed them flying close to their aircrafts. And note that the shape of these unidentified objects don't match anything that they've seen before. A more speculative theory suggests that pyramid-shaped aircrafts could be interdimensional travelers, or time machines. This theory posits that these craft might not be extraterrestrial, but rather operate outside the constraints of our understanding of time and space. However, this idea remains highly speculative and lacks concrete evidence. The existence of pyramid-shaped unidentified objects, if confirmed, would have profound implications for our understanding of advanced life. Firstly, it would indicate the presence of technologically advanced civilizations capable of interstellar travel or interdimensional manipulation. This, in turn, raises questions about their motives for visiting Earth and whether they pose a threat or seek peaceful contact. Additionally, pyramid-shaped sightings emphasize the need for more rigorous scientific investigation into the phenomenon. The accumulation of credible eyewitness accounts and the advancement of technology, such as high-quality cameras and sensors, should encourage a more systematic and open-minded approach to studying these unexplained aerial phenomena. Furthermore, governments and space agencies worldwide should be more transparent in sharing information about encounters with the public. The release of declassified documents and data can help researchers better understand these phenomena and assess their potential implications for national security and global cooperation. The phenomenon of unidentified objects has been a subject of intrigue and debate for decades. Among the myriad of claims and reports, a recurring theme that has emerged is the alleged interest these craft or their occupants may have in our nuclear capabilities. While it is crucial to approach this topic with a healthy degree of skepticism, considering potential reasons for this interest can offer fascinating insights into both the UFO enigma and our own global situation. The Kardashev scale, proposed by Russian astrophysicist Nikolai Kardashev in 1964, categorizes civilizations based on their energy consumption. A Type 1 civilization can harness and use all available energy resources on its home planet, Type 2 can harness all energy from its star, and Type 3 can control energy on the scale of its galaxy. While we are currently below Type 1 status, our rapid progress, especially with nuclear energy, might indicate to an observing civilization that we are transitioning. To a potential extraterrestrial observer, our development and use of nuclear power could be seen as a significant step in our evolution as a civilization, worthy of close monitoring. If unidentified objects are indeed crafts from another civilization, they might be keenly interested in our use and potential misuse of nuclear weapons. Our history is filled with wars and conflicts, many of which have resulted in significant loss of life and environmental devastation. An advanced civilization, having perhaps gone through its own period of nuclear realization, may monitor our weapons to ensure that we do not pose a threat to ourselves, them, or the broader cosmos. The detonation of nuclear weapons not only impacts the immediate vicinity, but has ripple effects that reach out into space. These explosions send out electromagnetic pulses and can potentially affect the ionosphere and Earth's magnetic field. Advanced civilizations might be interested in these nuclear-induced disturbances, as they could have unforeseen impacts on interstellar travel, communication, or other cosmic processes that we are not yet aware of. Advanced civilizations may be interested in our nuclear advancements for purely scientific reasons. They might want to study how a relatively younger species approaches nuclear power, the innovations we've made, and the mistakes we commit. Observing humanity's fledgling steps into the atomic age might offer insights into universal patterns of technological and societal development. Earth is abundant with life and unique resources, which may be rare on a cosmic scale. If we were to engage in nuclear warfare, the resultant nuclear winter, fallout, and long-term environmental damage would impact the planet's biodiversity and ecosystem. An external civilization, valuing Earth for its unique resources, might be inclined to monitor or even intervene in situations where our actions risk the irreversible destruction of these resources. As of right now, the relationship between unidentified objects and nuclear facilities, if any, remains speculative. While declassified military reports and testimonials from reputable sources indicate some level of interest, concrete evidence remains elusive. However, the very contemplation of such a connection forces us to reflect on our own responsibilities as stewards of a planet that's not just home to us, but might also be of cosmic significance. An object that's been described as being pure energy was witnessed above Africa by eyewitnesses, leaving many of them confused as to what it was that they had just witnessed. According to reports, a local noticed the strange object hovering above a nearby mountain and quickly grabbed their camera in order to record it. When the footage was uploaded online, many pointed out that it looked like this object was made of energy, as it kept changing its shape. Most unidentified objects don't look like this, but in recent years more and more sightings have been reported. Energy or orb aircrafts, also known as light orbs or plasma orbs, are a specific type of unidentified object that have captivated the interest and intrigue of enthusiasts and researchers alike. These plasma objects are characterized by their luminous and often pulsating appearance, resembling spheres or globes of light. Sightings of energy or orb objects have been reported worldwide, sparking a wide range of theories and speculation about their nature and origin. One of the distinguishing features of energy or orb objects is their unique behavior and movement patterns. Unlike traditional aircraft or natural phenomena, these orbs are often observed darting or maneuvering in ways that defy conventional aerodynamics. They can change direction abruptly, accelerate at extraordinary speeds, and exhibit sudden stops or hovering capabilities. This fluid and seemingly intelligent movement has led many to question whether these orbs are piloted by advanced beings or are a manifestation of some unknown natural phenomenon. Those who witnessed this craft in Africa said that it didn't act like a typical aircraft and stated that it was changing shape right in front of them. Oddly enough, it was also reported that the object didn't make any noise, with locals saying that they only saw it because of how bright it was. Reports of energy or orb sightings date back many years, with documented accounts from various cultures and historical periods. These sightings often occur in clusters or swarms, with multiple orbs being observed simultaneously. Witnesses describe the orbs as emitting a soft, radiant light, sometimes with vibrant colors or even translucent qualities. The size of these orbs can vary, ranging from small, basketball-sized objects to larger, more luminous entities. Theories regarding the origin and purpose of energy or orb objects are plentiful, but lack definitive evidence. Some believe that these orbs are manifestations of advanced beings or intelligences that exist outside our known physical reality. Others speculate that they are highly advanced surveillance drones or probes sent by advanced civilizations to study Earth and its inhabitants. Another theory proposes that these orbs are a natural phenomenon, possibly related to plasma discharges, atmospheric electricity, or even ball lightning. In recent years, advancements in technology have allowed for more sophisticated observations and analyses of energy or orb objects. High-resolution cameras and thermal imaging systems have captured intriguing footage, offering greater insight into their behavior and characteristics. However, despite the growing body of evidence, the true nature and origin of these orbs remain shrouded in mystery. One challenge in studying these objects is the lack of consistent and repeatable observations. Due to their elusive and unpredictable nature, it is difficult to capture them under controlled conditions or conduct systematic scientific investigations. Additionally, skeptics argue that many reported sightings can be attributed to misidentifications of conventional objects such as drones, balloons, or atmospheric phenomena. Nevertheless, the ongoing fascination with energy or orb objects continues to drive research and exploration. Scientists and investigators are actively studying these phenomena, seeking to gather more data, analyze patterns, and develop hypotheses that can withstand rigorous scientific scrutiny. The hope is that through meticulous observation, technological advancements, and collaboration among researchers, we may someday unlock the secrets of these elusive orbs and unravel the truth behind their existence. Whether energy or orb objects are advanced visitors, natural phenomena, or something yet to be understood, their enigmatic presence offers a glimpse into the unknown. They challenge our perceptions of reality and ignite our imaginations, inviting us to explore the frontiers of science, consciousness, and the mysteries of the universe. As of right now, the object seen above Africa, along with the thousands of other reports that have been made, show us that there's still much to learn about this topic, and that energy or orb objects represent a fascinating aspect of the phenomenon, characterized by their luminous and often pulsating appearance. While the true nature and purpose of these orbs remain elusive, ongoing scientific investigation and technological advancements offer hope for a deeper understanding of these enigmatic objects. The study of energy or orb objects serves as a reminder of the vast mysteries that lie beyond our comprehension and inspires us to continue exploring the boundaries of our knowledge and understanding of the universe. One suggestion that's been put forward by skeptics is that these objects could be ball lightning. Ball lightning is a fascinating and elusive natural phenomenon that has captured the imagination of scientists and the general public alike. It is a rare and mysterious occurrence characterized by the appearance of luminous, spherical objects that float or move erratically through the air. Despite centuries of anecdotal reports, ball lightning remains a subject of scientific inquiry, with many aspects of its nature and formation still not fully understood. One of the defining features of ball lightning is its appearance as a glowing sphere, typically ranging in size from a golf ball to a basketball. It often emits a vibrant light, sometimes accompanied by crackling or buzzing sounds. Witnesses describe its colors as ranging from white or yellow to orange or red, and some have even reported observing more unusual hues like blue or green. Ball lightning typically occurs during or immediately after thunderstorms, often appearing in close proximity to lightning strikes. It may manifest either outdoors or indoors, with sightings reported in a variety of locations, including open fields, homes, and even aircraft. The duration of ball lightning can vary widely, with some observations lasting only a few seconds, while others persist for several minutes. Numerous theories have been proposed to explain the formation of ball lightning, but none have been definitively proven. One hypothesis suggests that it arises from the ionization of air molecules during a lightning strike, leading to the creation of a plasma-like structure that sustains itself for a short period. Another theory suggests that it is the result of electromagnetic interactions or the combustion of certain gases in the atmosphere. However, many of these sightings happen when there's been no thunderstorm, which leaves believers to say that ball lightning doesn't explain the majority of these sightings. A user on Reddit just posted an interesting story detailing that from the late 2000s to mid-2010, they worked as a molecular biologist for a national security contractor in a program to study exo-biospheric organisms. They posted the following on Reddit, but oddly enough, after only a few hours, their messages were deleted and their account was taken down. They said the following: "From the late 2000s to mid-2010, I worked as a molecular biologist for a national security contractor in a program to study exo-biospheric organisms. The aim of the program was to elucidate the genome and proteome basis of these organisms. Although the study of OBCs has been going on for decades in other programs, the new high-throughput DNA sequencing technologies of the late 90s unblocked stagnant research in this area. Since then, several breakthroughs have led to significant advances in our understanding of the genome and proteome of these beings. What we've learned so far has enabled us to outline some disconcerting perspectives about our place in this universe. Briefly, we've discovered that the exo-biospheric organism's genome is a chimera of genomes from our biosphere and from an unknown one. They are artificial, ephemeral, and disposable organisms created for a purpose that still partially eludes us. I'll be substantiating my statements after a brief introduction. The reason for disclosing these secrets is quite simple. I believe that every human being has the right to know the truth, and that to progress, humanity needs to divest itself of certain institutions and organizations that will probably not survive these revelations in the long term. I'm aware that I'll have very little impact in this regard, but I still believe that small leaks are necessary to break the dam of misinformation on this subject. When the governments will eventually reveal these secrets, there will undoubtedly be a societal upheaval, but in my opinion, the longer we wait, the worse it will be. I choose to divulge what I know anonymously out of selfishness for the well-being of myself and my family. I'm aware that this diminishes the reach and credibility of my message, but it's the furthest I am willing to go. I chose this forum because it offers a good compromise between anonymity and popularity. In order to protect my anonymity, I will be purposely vague or even contradictory about any information that could identify me. I'll even introduce red herrings in this respect. I want to make it clear that any information related to the subject of the research will not be treated in this way. Before going any further, please excuse me if you find it difficult to understand what I'm explaining. Some parts of my text are very technical. It's difficult to find the right balance between vulgarization and scientific explanation. I'll continue by talking about myself. I simply want to introduce a perspective on the type of people who work there. I have a PhD in molecular biology. I didn't actively seek to be part of this program. Rather, it was a stroke of luck that introduced me to one of the senior scientists. I met this person at a conference where I was presenting a poster on my PhD research. When I think back, I don't believe he was impressed by what I was presenting, because it was quite frankly a project that wasn't going anywhere. I think it was rather the most important aspect of a professional life, the attitude and the ease with which you make connections. Shortly afterwards, I graduated and received a call from this person offering me a position. At the time, everything pointed to me working in a regular laboratory. I did a series of 3 increasingly suspicious interviews, each in a different location, where my scientific background and knowledge became less and less relevant. The first was with 2 of the senior scientists, the second and third with people I've never seen again, and who were obviously not interested in science. Sometime after the interview, I was asked to go to a 4th location, where what seemed like a corporate lawyer presented me with an NDA. He made sure not only to explain every detail, but also that I understood the consequence of not respecting it. The first employment weeks were by far the most memorable, although I spent most of that time in an archive room. It consists almost exclusively of reading about the subject of study and to get us up to speed. There's no secret Wikipedia or even a reference book to guide us. There are only dry reports, memos, presentations, procedures, and SOPs. These documents are almost exclusively about the biology of exo-biospheric organisms, but there are also a few that deal with other subjects such as their food, religion, or culture. There were no documents on their technology. As mentioned above, the aim of the project is to gain a better understanding of the EBO genome and proteome. To achieve this, a team of around 20 scientists, 4 senior scientists and a director was involved. The scientists, like myself, had as their main responsibility to carry out the technical work. As each scientist had, to my knowledge, a PhD, we were all somewhat overqualified for what is ultimately a technician's job. The senior scientists, who make full use of their diplomas, had the task of designing the assays and had a supervisory responsibility. They were also in charge of training new employees and sometimes even came in to do technical work. The director, of course, was the person in charge who dictated priorities to the senior scientists. He was rarely on site, and the few times he was, it was to attend meetings. Other than the scientific staff, there were security guards working for one subcontractor or another. There were no support staff, such as janitors or maintenance workers. Scientists were responsible for this kind of work. In addition, logistical constraints ensure that every scientist is capable of carrying out any technical activity. The laboratory itself is located in Fort Detrick, Maryland, in a building used for legitimate biomedical research. The clandestine operations are carried out in a restricted part of the basement, out of sight from regular workers. Contrary to what one might imagine, the biosafety level is not maximal for this type of research. Indeed, the lab containing exo-biospheric organism samples or derived cell cultures is biosafety level 3, while the lab where assays are conducted are only biosafety level 2. The biosafety level 3 area of the facility includes a freezer room and a cell culture lab, and is only accessible through an antechamber from the biosafety level 2 section. Exo-biospheric organism carcasses are preserved in horizontal freezers at a temperature of -80 degrees. To maximize the preservation of these organisms, they are preserved in vacuum bags, and the air in the room is controlled to minimize humidity. There are only 4 entities, and none of them are complete. It's obvious that these creatures passed away as a result of major trauma. It is acknowledged that there are more exo-biospheric organisms at other locations. The cell culture laboratory, as its name suggests, is where cell lines derived from exo-biospheric organisms are grown and related activities are performed. I'll talk in more detail about these specific cell lines later on. The biosafety level 2 part is mainly used for assays, immunohistochemistry, genetic engineering, immunocytochemistry, and storage. There's also a cell culture lab, but this is used for more traditional cell lines. Other than the labs, there are all the amenities you could find in an office. Note that the internet access is limited to senior staff and up. There is, however, an intranet for bioinformatics needs. On the subject of the biology of these beings, I'll start by discussing genetics, then their gross anatomy, and finally, their biological systems. For the sake of clarity, the information that I provide here is an aggregation of what I have observed and what I have read. I will make many comparisons with human anatomy because it is the most logical reference. First, I'd like to discuss their genetics. Their genetics are like ours, based on DNA. This fact was very puzzling for me when I first learned about it. We imagine that beings from an alternate biosphere would have genetics based on a completely foreign biochemical system, and surprisingly, this is not the case. Several conclusions can be drawn from this surprising revelation. The one that immediately comes to mind is that our biosphere and theirs share a common ancestry. They're eukaryotes, which means their cells have nuclei containing genetic material, which suggests that their biosphere would have been separated from ours sometime after the appearance of this type of organism. The term Exo-Biospheric organism is actually a misnomer, but as it's a historical term, it's still used. Their genetics are not only based on the same genetic system, but they're also even compatible with our own cellular machinery. This means that you can take a human gene and insert it into an exo-biospheric organism cell, and that gene will be translated into protein. And this, of course, works in reverse with a human gene inserted into an exo-biospheric organism cell. There are important differences in post-translational modifications that will make the final protein non-functional, but I'll discuss these later. Their genome consists of 16 circular chromosomes. You're probably familiar with the concept of intergenic region, or junk DNA. These are basically DNA sequences that don't code for proteins. These are evolutionary residues, transposons, inactivated genes, and so on. To give you an idea, in humans, intergenic regions represent approximately 99% of our genome. I'm aware that these sequences aren't completely useless. They can be used as histone anchors, as buffers to protect coding DNA from radiation, or even as alternative open reading frames, but that's rather peripheral. What's particularly striking about the exo-biospheric organism's genome is the uniformity of these intergenic regions. We see the same sequences repeated everywhere, and the distance in BP between the genes is virtually the same throughout their genome. The result is a minimalist, highly condensed genome. In fact, it's much smaller than ours. Moreover, the quantity of protein-coding genes is even significantly lower than ours, probably due to genetic refinement, but also to biological processes that are absent in exo-biospheric organisms. The uniformity of these sequences is a major indication of the artificiality of these beings. There is no complex organism on Earth that has such elegance in its sequences. There is no evolutionary pressure that can lead to this kind of characteristic other than genetic engineering. Speaking of genetic engineering, following sequencing of their genomes, we noticed a troubling and universal characteristic in the 5 of the regulatory sequence of each gene, which we call the tripalindromic region. The tripalindromic region are 134 sequences containing, as its name suggests, 3 palindromes. In genetics, a palindrome is a DNA sequence that, when read in the same direction, gives the same sequence on both DNA strands. They serve both as a flag and as a binding site for proteins. The 3 palindromes in the tripalindromic region are distinct from one another and have been poetically named 5 tripalindromic region, M tripalindromic region, and 3 tripalindromic region. The chromosomal address is composed of 4 BP and is identical in each tripalindromic region of the same chromosome, but distinct between each of the 16 chromosomes of the genome. The gene address is a 64 BP sequence that is unique for each gene in the whole genome. It's therefore understandable that the tripalindromic region serves as a unique address, not only for numerically identifying a gene, but also for identifying its chromosomal location. For those with only a basic knowledge of genetics, this is completely unheard of. No living thing in our biosphere has this kind of precise address in its genome. Once again, the presence of tripalindromic region cannot be explained by evolutionary pressure, but only by genetic engineering on a genomic scale. Tripalindromic region opens the door to several possibilities. One of them suggests that exo-biospheric organism geneticists can insert or remove a gene from a cell in a way that is far more targeted and efficient than our technology allows. No proteins have been identified in the exo-biospheric organism genome that interacts with the tripalindromic region. Rather, we believe that these proteins are exclusively targeted by external genetic engineering tools, probably used at the zygotic stage of embryonic development. The nature of these tools is unclear, but we definitely don't have anything like them. The probable absence of these proteins from the genome is a further indication of their artificiality. Given the high probability of artificiality of their genome and the apparent ease of modifying it with biomolecular tools, it's not out of the question that there could be polymorphism between individuals depending on their role and function. In other words, an individual could be genetically designed to have characteristics that give it an advantage in performing a given task, like soldier ants and worker ants in an anthill. Note that these previous statements are speculation. To my knowledge, only one individual genome has been sequenced. I can't make a definitive statement on genetic variation between individuals. I've talked a lot about intergenic regions. Now I'll briefly discuss intragenic sequences. Briefly, because there's not a lot less to say despite its obvious importance. Much like ours, their genes have silencers, enhancers, promoters, 5 UTRs, exons, introns, and 3 UTRs. There are many genes analogous to ours, which is not surprising given the compatibility of our cellular machinery. What's disturbing is that some genes correspond directly, nucleotide by nucleotide, with known human genes or even some animal genes. For these genes, there doesn't seem to be any artificial refinement, but rather a crude copying and pasting. Why they do it is nebulous and still subject to conjecture. There are also many genes which are not found in our biosphere, whose role has not been identified. Finding the purpose of these novel genes is one of the aims of the program. I'd like to note before going any further that this heterogeneity of genes of known and unknown origin is an undeniable proof of the artificiality of exo-biospheric organisms. To conclude with genetics, the mitochondrial genome, at the time I was working there, had not yet been sequenced. It's safe to assume that this genome would also be streamlined and possibly has some version of tripalindromic region. Transcription and translation and protein expression. I briefly introduced the differences in post-translational modifications between human and exo-biospheric organism. This is hardly a surprise, as we often see the same thing between different terrestrial species. Obtaining a viable protein from a DNA sequence is a complex process involving hundreds of protein intermediates, each with a precise and essential role. A minor variation in this assembly line can lead to functional irregularities in the final product. So, it's no surprise that there are setbacks along the way when the first exo-biospheric organism gene transfection attempts failed to produce the desired functional protein in human cell lines. Fortunately for us, the work of what I imagine to be another team at another site has led to the development of an exo-biospheric organism cell line named EPIG-11, derived from epithelial tissues. With this tool in our hands, we were able to transfect and overexpress proteins of interest in order to eventually purify and study them. For your information, we use a biological ballistics delivery system for our transfection needs because other methods are not very effective with cells of this line. For example, the viral vectors tested cannot be internalized by EPIG-11 and lipofection is too lethal. EPIG-11, like most eukaryotic cell lines, enters a phase of exponential growth when exposed to fetal bovine serum. It's only half surprising that a cell line from such an exotic source should be sensitive to the growth factors present in FBS. In my opinion, this can be explained by the addition of animal genes to the genome, such as growth receptors. Gross anatomy. They are morphologically very similar to the grey aliens that are part of modern folklore. Their height is about 150 centimeters. They have 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. Still, there are some notable differences. The grey skin that is often described in folklore is in fact a biosynthetic film which, likely, serves to protect the Exo-Biospheric organism from a hostile environment. It doesn't provide effective protection against temperature changes, but it does offer adequate protection against the passage of liquids. It's possible that this film confers other advantages, but my knowledge on the subject is limited. Under the grey film, the epidermis is rather white, and the texture is very regular and without any hair. We do not see any defect other than the folds near the joints. It's described as greasy in one report, but that's not something I've observed. The same report states that a strong, lingering smell of burnt hair and ammonia is present when the film is removed. There are a lot of pores on the skin, crossing from the epidermis to a gland in the hypodermis. These glands and pores are the terminal part of the excretory sudoriferous system, which could explain the previously mentioned smell. The head contains 2 large, oversized eyes, 2 nostrils without protuberance, a narrow mouth without lips, and 2 ear canals without auricles. There is a mandible, but the musculature is vestigial. There are no teeth or tongue in the oral cavity. The nasal cavity where the nostrils meet is compact and does not rise cranially, but extends axially. There appears to be no equivalent to the olfactory bulb in the nasal cavity. The mouth leads directly to the esophagus and the nasal cavity to the trachea. The trachea and esophagus do not communicate. Like the skin, the eyes are covered with a semi-transparent biosynthetic film that offers the same environmental protection while providing protection against certain wavelengths and light intensity. When the film is removed, a more traditional eye is revealed. It's about 3 times larger than a human eye, and there are no eyelids. The size of their eyes suggests they have excellent night vision. It seems paradoxical to cover them with a semi-opaque film. Perhaps they only need to wear it in a bright environment. Their sclera is the same color as their skin, the iris is pale grey, and the pupil is black and oversized. The lens is rounder than a human, and the musculature used to adjust focus is more developed. On the retina, there are at least 6 types of cone cells. The responsiveness of each of these 6 types of cone is specific to a wavelength band, with a minimum of overlap between each other. The result is a broader visible spectrum. As mentioned, the outer ear has no auricle and the ear canal is unremarkable. The inner ear has all the characteristics of a typical vestibular and cochlear system. Although the curvature of the cochlea is more pronounced than a human, this probably results in greater hearing acuity for low frequencies. The brain is tetraspheric and is composed of 4 major sections. The sections are separated by transverse and longitudinal fissures and are connected to the central lobe, which acts as brainstem and cerebellum. The volume of the brain is around 20% superior to that of a man of the same height. It has a much more pronounced level of gyrification than an average human. Moreover, the ratio of glial cells to neurons is also slightly higher than in humans. It is important to mention the presence of nodules on the central lobe. Histological analysis of these structures reveals a kind of intricate biological circuitry. It is speculated that these nodules are essential to interact with their technology. Consequently, determining the proteome of these structures is an absolute priority for the program. The neck is proportionally longer than that of a human, and at the same time relatively thin. As mentioned, the esophagus and trachea are separate. There are no vocal cords in this region. The musculature of the thorax is underdeveloped. Muscles equivalent to the pectoralis major can be seen. We can also see the trapezius and deltoid muscles. The sternocleidomastoids are well defined. The ribs and sternum are clearly visible. The abdomen is wider than the thorax and bulges slightly forward. There is no navel. Their hands have 4 digits, including an opposable thumb on the medial side. They have no nails, and the texture of their fingerprints is composed of concentric circles. Fingers are proportionally much longer than in humans. Unlike humans, finger musculature is entirely intrinsic to the hand. In other words, the muscles used to move the fingers are not in the forearms, but entirely located in the hands. At first glance, the feet consist of just 2 digits, but a necropsy soon determined that each toe was made of 2 fused digits. The medial toe is marginally longer than the distal toe. The feet are relatively longer and narrower than in a human. Their musculature, however, is vestigial. The Exo-Biospheric organism's endoskeleton is very similar to ours, at least in terms of composition. There's collagen, hydroxyapatite, but also copper oxide crystals where marrow would normally be found. The blood cells of the myeloid lineage therefore mature in a different location than in humans. A transverse section of the bone reveals osteon and osteocytes. There appear to be few osteoblasts and no osteoclasts. This indicates that the bones are no longer growing and cannot absorb the minerals present or adapt mechanically to changes in posture. Their cellular respiration is equivalent to ours. They need to oxidize organic components to produce energy. Their lungs have no reciprocating action, but rather have a unidirectional flow of air, similar to those seen in birds, which is more efficient than ours. It is speculated that this is in response to the brain's elevated metabolic needs. Vocalization is produced by vibration of the wall membrane at the junction between the two air sacs. The circulatory system of exo-biospheric organisms is rather analogous to ours. The heart is located in the mediastinum, but in a more medial position, directly beneath the sternum. The heart has 2 ventricles and 2 atria. There is an aorta, a pulmonary vein, a pulmonary artery, and a vena cava. Blood flowing to the pulmonary capillaries via the pulmonary artery is pumped against the flow of air, maximizing gas exchange efficiency. The blood-gas barrier is relatively narrow in these capillaries, at least compared to a human. Then, oxygen-rich blood is returned to the heart and then expelled into the aorta and the rest of the body. Before returning to the heart, the blood will pass through the hepatorenal organ, which, among other things, filters and controls osmotic pressure of the blood. The blood itself is also analogous to that of a human. However, the proportion of plasma is much higher. Albumin is in similar proportion, hormone levels are much lower, metal ion levels are much higher, and glucose levels are significantly higher. The color of the blood is brownish, given the higher proportion of plasma and concentration of metal ions. On the cellular side, there are erythrocytes which, in addition to hemoglobin for binding oxygen, display several complexes capable of binding copper ions. It's not clear what role these copper ions play, but we believe it neutralizes blood ammonia, among other things. Several cell types with leukocyte characteristics have been observed, but no comprehensive knowledge of them exists. The United States government has acknowledged the existence of unidentified flying objects, but their stance and level of knowledge about them is not entirely clear. Back in June 2021, the United States government released a report on unidentified aerial phenomena, which is the new term used to describe these mysterious aircrafts. The report, issued by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, stated that there were 144 reports of unidentified aerial phenomena from 2004 to 2021, with only one of them having an identifiable explanation. As of right now, though, officials haven't released any more information on this topic, leading amateur researchers to suggest that they're not giving away all of the answers and that they're holding on to substantial evidence which could prove once and for all what these objects are. Going back a few years ago, a man overheard 2 security guards talking, and they detailed that in the early hours of the morning, something was being transported out of Edwards Air Force Base. He overheard the guards say that the object would be transported at around 1:30 in the morning, and so he decided to wait in his car to see what the Air Force Base was transporting. The man reported that in the distance he could see a police car with its lights on, and behind it were several other police cars escorting a large truck. The man said that he couldn't believe what he was seeing, and that the object on the back of the truck appeared to be in the shape of a disc. Many said that the man was brave for doing this, and that he may have caught genuine proof of a mysterious aircraft. Although the man was able to follow the military guards and capture proof of this encounter, others said that he was lucky not to have been spotted, and suggested that if he was caught by officers, then he may have been given a prison sentence. Oddly enough, although the man was able to capture clear photographs of an aircraft in the shape of a disc, some online users came forward and said that it wasn't an unidentified aircraft, and was actually an aircraft that belonged to the United States Navy. The aircraft in question is called the X-46B. According to military websites, the project was funded under a $635 million contract, which was awarded to the United States Navy in 2007. By January 2012, The total program cost had grown to over $800 million. The aircraft certainly looks futuristic, but according to military insiders, the program had a rough start, and not long after being awarded the program, it was soon scrapped in favor of a less stealthy aircraft. Interestingly, various military bases have been home to strange encounters, which have led former military workers to come forward with their strange encounters. One such event happened at the Edwards Air Force Base. Edwards Air Force Base sits amid the dusty plains of the Mojave Desert, home to the Earth's hottest place, Death Valley, where temperatures fluctuate from scorching hot in the summer to freezing cold in the winter. The desert is a hostile and dangerous place, but it's also one of America's most fascinating places for a number of reasons. Geographically, the area is unique. Furthermore, the first space shuttle mission, Columbia, landed at Edwards on its return to Earth in April 1981. However, there's a reason much more relevant to this video as to why we're taking a look at the base. Edwards Air Force Base, by location and the majority of its purpose, is just a regular military installation, but it also serves a joint purpose. The base essentially controls activities at the nearby Homey Airport, an area that in recent years has become synonymous with strange activity. One would imagine that some strange things must be seen late at night, that far out in the desert, surrounded by nothing but open air and dusty expanses. One night in 1965, an air traffic controller at the base had a strange encounter with what he believed was an aircraft in the shape of a disc. In 1965, Edwards, like US Air Force bases all over the country, were on high alert for suspicious activity in the skies. Tension with the Soviet Union was mounting, and the most shocking thing that radar controllers in the Nevada desert could have seen back then would have been a Russian aircraft. However, the objects that appeared above the base, apparently flying very high and very fast, appeared in sets of 7 to 12 and looked like pulsating lights against the night sky. However, the controllers couldn't be sure of what they'd seen, and as a precaution, a fighter jet was scrambled from the nearby George Air Force Base. Yet, the strange lights continued to climb into the night sky, far outpacing the fighter jet. Controllers noted that the craft seemed to simply fade away into space, becoming one of the stars. The thing about the Edwards incident is that the eyewitness reports were credible, so the crew at the base most definitely did see something that night. It's just not clear what it was that they saw. We don't know what sort of threat, or how bad a threat these mysterious aircrafts posed, but when the evidence was released only about 15 years ago, people realized that the government had gone to great lengths at the time to cover up these sorts of incidents. These mysterious aircrafts have been a thing of immense fascination across the world for thousands of years, but Americans were amongst the first to take a continued interest in the phenomena. And when multiple soldiers, those who we trust with keeping us safe, are left confused and ultimately convinced by their own sightings, you can't help but think that there might be something else out there. These are just a few examples of what military officials have encountered, and there's definitely no shortage of these types of stories. It's interesting when we hear about these types of sightings that have been witnessed by everyday people, but when military officials come forward and share their stories, they seem more credible. This is because these are the people that work around these areas on a daily basis, so they are used to seeing military equipment on a daily basis. No matter what your thoughts surrounding these incidents, one thing that can't be ignored is that there are only two possible conclusions to make when it comes to repeated UFO sightings: either a truth within the story or false. The United Kingdom is no stranger to these mysterious aircrafts, and since the early 1980s, there have been various mass sightings of strange aircrafts that don't match vehicles such as planes or helicopters. Described as one of the strangest aerial sightings ever made, bordering on the theory of being a possible religious experience, is that of the well-recorded incident referred to by researchers as the Devon Flying Cross sighting. While officers Roger Willey and Clifford Walcott were making their way back to the police station, driving from Holsworthy to Hatherley at around 4 a.m, they were diverted from their investigation when they spotted a series of floating lights in the sky that seemed to group together and take on the shape of a cross. According to the two officers, the sighting took place on the 24th of October back in 1967 and have yet to find an adequate explanation for what they encountered. The now retired officers recounted the following statement surrounding the incident. "We were making our way back between Holsworthy and Hatherley when we saw this unusual bright light in the sky. We both registered that we'd seen something. It was something we couldn't logically account for. It was something that I hadn't seen before, I haven't seen since, and something that nobody can explain exactly what it was. The two officers described the craft as a bright object in the shape of a cross, hovering slightly above the height of the tree line roughly 40 meters from where their car was parked. Unsure of what action would be most appropriate to take, the two officers began to pursue the lights, which began to pulsate for about 15 minutes while flying away from their car, still following the path of the road at about the speed of 80 miles per hour. It was at this point that the officers got a clear look at the lights, only to notice that something was off about their appearance. The two officers both described that the lights seemed to have been continually out of focus of their eyes, and said that it was as if they were viewing this object through wet glass. Roger provided a later statement describing the lights as they followed them for this 15-minute period. He said the following: "My view of it was that it was moving slowly. It wasn't a star, it was bright, and it was white. If you look at glass which has got rain on, it was the same sort of inference. It was a splash. It was just eerie." As Roger and Clifford continued following the craft, according to their witness account, at about 4:23 in the morning, the cross was joined by a second flying object that appeared to join the shape. It was also at this point that a third witness would enter the scene, a man by the name of Mr. Christopher Garner, a local resident of Hatherley, who also began to follow the light while driving down the same road. According to Christopher Garner, he originally believed that he was stuck in some kind of trance as the object passed overhead, unsure of what was real and what wasn't, recounting that the entire experience left him questioning whether or not he was experiencing a nightmare. This nightmare would not last for very long, however, as after the distance of 14 miles were passed, the object would fade away and seem to disappear in an instant, with no sign of the lights or the cross being anywhere nearby. The sighting was believed to have lasted from 4 in the morning to about 5 in the morning. Unfortunately for the men involved, this would not mark the end of this strange and otherworldly incident. Shortly following their sighting, officers Roger and Clifford claimed to have been approached by the British Ministry of Defence for the purpose of an ongoing investigation into the unidentified aircraft phenomenon, as well as warning them about coming forward with their encounter. Roger would later provide the following comment to the BBC national media: "We were visited by a boffin from the Ministry of Defence who told us that we were still officers under the Official Secrets Acts, and they would rather we kept it to ourselves." Fortunately for researchers interested in the unknown, this approach from the British Ministry of Defence would do very little to discourage Officer Roger, Clifford, and motorist Christopher Garner from going to the news media and reporting their encounter. When reports investigated the claims surrounding the strange intimidation tactic taken by the British Ministry of Defence, they would provide the explanation that they were doing their own research into the claims made by the three men and found them to be entirely baseless, providing the additional explanation that the sighting was nothing more than a misidentification of Venus in the sky. This explanation would be put into question, however, as throughout that same month, numerous additional sightings of a flying cross would be seen all throughout the Devon region. Additionally, during the late 2000s, slowly released documents from the British National Archives would tell a different story, when unclassified documents would be uncovered surrounding the Devon flying cross encounter, believing the sighting to have been a genuine mysterious aircraft, directly contradicting the public statement made by the Ministry of Defence during 1967 surrounding the incident. NASA's chief Bill Nelson has said that NASA continues its search for life in the universe. NASA has been at the forefront of space exploration, sending humans into space and launching probes to the edges of our solar system. Each year we learn new things about the universe that we live in, helping us to better understand what could be out there. Interestingly, Bill Nelson has been vocal about mysterious aircrafts and has shown a continued interest in their capabilities and where they're coming from. One of the most recent announcements to come from them was that national security agencies are well aware of these objects, but noted that as each new report comes in, new questions are raised, and the majority of the time these questions never get answered. These national security agencies have admitted that many of these aircrafts seem to have the ability to perform maneuvers that are highly advanced. According to one study that was released by top intelligence officials, they reported that in total, over 500 unidentified aircrafts had been observed in protected airspace or near sensitive facilities. The report was submitted to United States officials, and those in Congress, and also the Director of National Intelligence, have said that further studies are needed and that we need to better understand what these aircrafts are. One of the positives that comes from these reports is there's been a reduced stigma. For years, anyone showing interest in this topic would usually be dismissed, but because high-up military officials, soldiers, pilots, and former intelligence members have come forward with their testimonies, the topic has since been taken more seriously, and now even NASA is getting involved in these studies, saying that they are working with military officials to help aid where they can. Due to the amount of sightings that are reported every year, along with the hundreds of thousands of declassified documents that have been submitted by government officials, it's led some to say that perhaps this whole time, intelligent life has been right under our noses. Mysterious aircrafts have long been a hot topic, with some believing that the crafts are genuine, while others have said that they can be easily explained as everyday things like planes and military aircrafts. Ideas for what these are range from advanced crafts sent from other worlds, advanced probes that may be looking out for other life forms, or even that these things are forms of higher intelligence, and that as of right now we can't understand their workings. Bill Nelson, who is NASA's newest administrator, has said that he wants to get to the bottom of what these things are, saying that NASA will actively research this topic in order to help give a definitive answer for what they are. He openly said that the reports by military officials have caught the interest of scientists worldwide, and that their goal is to try and further research this topic in order to better understand what eyewitnesses have been seeing. These comments have divided people. NASA has never been open to the idea of mysterious aircrafts, actively going out of its way to shoot down any ideas that these crafts are genuine, which has frustrated those who have looked into the phenomena. But some have said that this could be a good chance for the company to be more open-minded about this topic, with many saying that it's clear that something is going on, noting that military pilots have been encountering these aircrafts for years now, and that it's only been in the last few years that people are starting to open up to the idea of these aircrafts being genuine. Recent reports showed us that out of hundreds of sightings of mysterious aircrafts that were reported by pilots, only one of these could be explained. It's due to this that people are hoping that NASA can shine a light on what these things are, and that it may usher us into a new era where we become more open-minded. Those who are heavily invested in the topic have said that it's good that a high-up NASA official has acknowledged these aircrafts, and hope that we can get an answer in the near future for what these things are. Bill Nelson said the following about the sightings made by United States Navy pilots. "I have received the classified version as well. I've seen the report. It said basically what we thought, and that's that we don't know the answer for what those Navy pilots saw, and those Navy pilots knew that they saw something. They tracked it, locked their radar onto it, and they followed it. It would suddenly move from one location to another, and what the report does tell us is that there's been over 140 of these sightings. So naturally, what I ask our scientists to do is to see if there's any kind of explanation from a scientific point of view, and as of right now, I'm waiting for their report." He was then asked about his feelings about what he thought they were, and if he could explain them. He said the following. "I talked to the Navy pilots when we were briefed in the Senate Armed Services Committee, and my feeling is that there is clearly something there. It may not necessarily be an extraterrestrial, but if it's a technology that some of our adversaries have, then we better be concerned. When it comes to the universe, it's so large that we have a program in NASA called the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, but thus far, we don't have any receipt of communication from something that would be intelligent." The next question the reporter asked Bill Nelson was, "Do you think this report is just going to create more anxiety and theories around this topic? People want an explanation, and people want to know what these things are." He responded with the following. "Ever since the Navy pilot video came out, people are hungry to know, and they want to know what's out there in the cosmos. Are we alone? Personally, I don't think that we are. The universe is so big, it's 13.5 billion years ago when the universe started, but people are hungry for this kind of information, and we're going to keep on searching." Many people found these comments interesting, as NASA hasn't really been vocal about the topic of mysterious crafts, and when they have been asked questions, they usually just shut them down immediately. But people gave praise to Bill Nelson as it came across that he has a much more open mind. One of the things that people picked up on was the fact that he said the United States is very advanced and that he doesn't think that other countries have this type of technology. The question then put forward is, who owns these things? If the biggest powerhouse on the planet has admitted that it isn't them, and even officials are saying that they don't have this type of technology, then who do they belong to? One of the issues with this is that there's many different theories floating around at the moment, and people have found it strange how these officials are suddenly changing their tune. After all, governments and space agencies have never been vocal about these mysterious crafts, but all of a sudden they are claiming that they don't know what these objects are. There's some who speculated that it's got to the point that they have to be honest, while others have said that they may have a motive of their own, with some noting that whenever this topic gets brought up, it's shortly followed by the military asking for a much bigger budget. NASA is still prioritizing their missions, which look for signs of life. Going back, NASA's then chief scientist Ellen Stofan claimed that by 2025, scientists will most likely discover prominent signs of life somewhere in the universe, saying that all of the data that NASA have gathered point towards us making a big discovery sometime in the near future. This announcement was made while she was speaking at a panel discussion, which heavily focused on NASA's search for habitable worlds. She said the following: "I think we're going to have strong indications of life beyond Earth within a decade, and I think we're going to have definitive evidence within 20 to 30 years. We know where to look. We know how to look. In most cases, we have the technology, and we're on a path to implementing it, and so I think we're definitely on the road." NASA's Space Telescope was retired in 2018, but during its mission, it revealed to scientists that pretty much every star in the sky hosts planets, many of which could have similar conditions to Earth. Just because other planets aren't as similar to Earth, though, it doesn't mean that they can't host life. Researchers have been open about this discussion and have said that when it comes to the universe, it could be filled with weird and wonderful life forms, many of which may not look like anything that we have here on Earth. Paul Hertz, who is director of NASA's Astrophysics Division, described the Milky Way galaxy as being a soggy place. He said the following: "We can see water in the interstellar clouds from which planetary systems and stellar systems form. We can see water in the disks of debris that are going to become planetary systems around other stars, and we can even see comets being dissipated in other solar systems as their star evaporates them. Scientists have now said that we should be focusing on exoplanets. Many of these exoplanets that have been detected are planets with thick and heavy atmospheres that are abundant with hydrogen, which allows for oceans to exist and flourish even under immense amounts of heat. This is the name given to the mini-Neptunes that match the description of potential life-having planets. These planets tend to be fully composed of water with no continents, and often have permanent mist rising from the heated waters. Further research into exoplanets may reveal the truth to us within the next handful of years, as we develop and establish what we truly mean by habitable. Another scientist from the University of Montreal claims that we, as a species, have far too high expectations, saying that there may be other ways of finding other life that are not dinosaurs crawling around on the surface. Even though it is not the easiest thing to do, these mini-Neptunes can be tested. There are countless mini-Neptunes in space, and based on their positions and surroundings, we will be able to correctly guess whether they have a chance at being habitable or not. According to scientists, even if only 5% of the mini-Neptune match the requirements, it would still give scientists an incredible number of planets to investigate. Dr. Niku Madasun from Cambridge's Institute of Astronomy said the following: "This result greatly expands our chances of finding life. By using the host star, astronomers are able to estimate the mass of an exoplanet to determine whether it is made of gas or rock, but it is near impossible to determine whether it has a solid or gas core. However, in 2019, thanks to the Hubble Space Telescope, astronomers were able to glimpse into the atmosphere of K2-18b, one of these mini-Neptunes, and discovered evidence of clouds and water vapor. Furthermore, just recently it was announced that there is a possibility that one of these planets could have enough water to sustain earthly life." In Dr. Niku's words, "For the first time, we demonstrated that planets can be significantly larger than Earth and still have livable conditions. The desired outcome for astronomers is to find an Earth-like planet on which we could thrive, to find the ideal Earth twin, which unfortunately is much easier said than done, considering this planet would have to be around the same mass as Earth, the same size, orbit, and neither too far from the host star as the oceans would freeze, or too close for the oceans would boil. While exoplanets in the cosmos could surely have Earth-like life on them, Scientists have stated it is best not to assume that these planets' conditions will be suitable for humans. Currently, the task is to find alien life, not to find another suitable habitat for ourselves. These mini-Neptunes are an in-between being a gas giant and a dwarf, small versions of our huge icy planets. Unfortunately, as mini-Neptunes are far from us, we have not yet developed a way to study them up close, thus shrouding them in mystery. In recent years, reports of unidentified objects have captivated the public's imagination, stirring intrigue and speculation about advanced life. Among the various sightings, one intriguing case involved a smoke ring spotted above India. While skeptics may dismiss such sightings as optical illusions or natural phenomena, there are instances where credible witnesses and supporting evidence make these encounters worthy of investigation. The reported sighting of a smoke ring above India drew attention due to its unique characteristics. Witnesses described observing a large, perfectly formed smoke ring floating in the sky. The ring appeared to be self-contained and stable, maintaining its shape for an extended period of time. This peculiar phenomenon left onlookers perplexed and fascinated. One possible explanation for the appearance of a smoke ring is the occurrence of a rare meteorological phenomenon known as a vortex ring. Vortex rings are circular air formations created when a burst of air is expelled forcefully and forms a rotating donut-shaped vortex. These rings can persist in the atmosphere for a short duration before dissipating. While vortex rings are typically observed on a smaller scale, it is possible that atmospheric conditions or an unknown source caused the formation of a larger and more prominent smoke ring in this particular case. However, it is also essential to consider alternative explanations beyond natural phenomena. These sightings have been reported across different countries and cultures throughout history, and witnesses often describe similar characteristics, including unconventional flight patterns, high speeds, and the absence of visible propulsion mechanisms. While conventional explanations may account for some sightings, there are instances where the available evidence challenges conventional explanations and warrants further investigation. In the case of the smoke ring seen above India, witness testimonies play a crucial role. Eyewitness accounts from multiple individuals can provide consistency and credibility to the sighting. In this case, if the witnesses are reliable and their descriptions align, it adds weight to the credibility of the sighting. Moreover, corroborative evidence, such as photographs, videos, or radar data, can further support the claim and assist in the scientific examination of the phenomenon. It is important to approach these cases with a balanced perspective, acknowledging the need for rigorous scientific investigation while remaining open to the possibility of extraordinary phenomena. The exploration of the unknown requires an open mind, thorough research, and the application of scientific principles to understand and analyze the available data. Scientific institutions, research organizations, and dedicated investigators play a crucial role in studying and documenting these sightings. By conducting thorough investigations and utilizing advanced technologies, they can provide a systematic approach to the analysis of witness testimonies, photographs, videos, and other supporting evidence. This approach allows for the identification of possible natural explanations, as well as the consideration of alternative hypotheses that may challenge our current understanding of the universe. While skepticism is healthy and necessary in evaluating any claim, it is equally important to remain open to possibilities beyond our current knowledge. As science and technology continue to advance, our understanding of the cosmos expands, and we uncover new possibilities and realms of exploration. Smoke ring aircrafts, also known as smoke rings, have intrigued and puzzled both enthusiasts and skeptics alike. These unusual aerial phenomena, characterized by the appearance of large, perfectly formed smoke rings floating in the sky, have been reported in various parts of the world. While some argue that these sightings can be attributed to natural or man-made causes, others believe they may hold a more mysterious origin. Furthermore, man-made sources may also generate smoke ring-like formations that can be misinterpreted as unidentified aircrafts. Activities such as fireworks displays, pyrotechnics, or special effects used in theatrical performances can produce smoke rings or circular patterns in the air. The combination of lighting effects, atmospheric conditions, and wind direction can create visually striking phenomena that may be mistakenly perceived as otherworldly. However, It is important to note that not all smoke ring sightings can be easily explained by conventional phenomena. In some cases, witnesses describe smoke ring objects displaying unusual flight characteristics, such as sudden changes in direction, high speeds, or the absence of conventional propulsion mechanisms. These accounts raise questions and challenge our understanding of known aircraft or atmospheric phenomena. To better understand these smoke rings, interdisciplinary collaboration between researchers, scientists, and experts in various fields is necessary. This collaboration can help in conducting rigorous investigations, applying scientific methods, and utilizing advanced technologies to analyze and interpret the data. By systematically studying and cataloging these sightings, researchers can discern patterns, identify potential causes, and potentially unveil previously unknown atmospheric or aerial phenomena. In recent years, governments around the world have shown an increased interest in investigating unidentified object sightings. Once considered a topic relegated to theories and fringe beliefs, these mysterious aircrafts are now receiving attention from government agencies and military organizations. This shift in attitude reflects a growing recognition of the need to address unexplained aerial phenomena and their potential implications. Several governments have taken steps to investigate sightings, and their efforts have led to increased transparency and scientific scrutiny of these phenomena. One notable example is the United States government's efforts to investigate these sightings. Other governments have also taken steps to investigate sightings within their jurisdictions. The French government, for instance, has been investigating these objects since 1977. The Chilean government also established the Committee for the Study of Anomalous Aerial Phenomena to investigate mysterious sightings and anomalies in their airspace. These government initiatives reflect a shift toward a more scientific and evidence-based approach to studying unknown sightings. Governments are deploying sophisticated technologies, including radar systems, satellite imagery, and advanced sensors, to gather data on these phenomena. By employing rigorous scientific methods and analysis, governments can separate genuine unexplained sightings from misidentifications or hoaxes, providing a more accurate assessment of the situation. The reasons behind governments' increased interest in investigating sightings are multifaceted. National security considerations are a significant driver, as unidentified aerial objects could potentially represent advanced technology from foreign nations. Governments have a responsibility to identify and understand any potential threats to their airspace and military capabilities. Additionally, the public's growing fascination with mysterious aircrafts and the desire for transparency have compelled governments to address these sightings more openly. Scientific curiosity and the desire to expand our understanding of the universe are also motivators for government investigation. These sightings present an opportunity to study phenomena that challenge our current knowledge of physics, aerospace technology, and the nature of the universe. Governments recognize the importance of fostering scientific research and collaboration to explore and explain these enigmatic occurrences. The investigation of these mysterious sightings and aircrafts by governments also serves to counter misinformation and misconceptions surrounding the topic. By actively investigating and sharing credible information, governments can help distinguish between genuine sightings and unfounded claims. This approach promotes a more informed public discourse, reducing the proliferation of theories and baseless speculation. Furthermore, international collaboration plays a significant role in the investigation of sightings. Governments are increasingly sharing data and collaborating on research efforts to pool resources and expertise. People are naturally curious, and the idea of something unexplained or unknown can be intriguing. Mysterious aircrafts and encounters often involve mystery and uncertainty, which can be exciting for some individuals. The idea that we may not be alone in the universe is a fascinating and exciting prospect for many. Over the last few years, residents in Turkey have been reporting an increase in mysterious aircrafts, going on to note that they don't match aircrafts such as planes and helicopters, and on some occasions have been seen flying at incredible speeds. Various photographs and videos have been making their way online, showing what appears to be glowing orbs and silent objects in the sky sitting in the sky, with residents saying that they don't make a sound. One of these videos shows strange white orbs flying around buildings. A few moments later, there's a lightning strike, which goes on to reveal a large object sitting stationary in the sky. When this footage made its way online, it caused various people to put forward different theories to try and explain it. Some suggested that the mysterious aircraft was genuine and that the orbs could have been sent out by the larger craft, while others said that the video could be real, but that what we are seeing in the sky is just a natural phenomena that gives off the appearance that a large object is there. Skeptics also said that the footage is most likely fake and created by special effects. Interestingly, those who have researched unidentified objects have said that orbs are one of the most common phenomena that's witnessed, saying that witnesses all across the world are seeing these things, and that as of right now no one is entirely sure what they are. These glowing orbs come in a variety of different colours, ranging from blue, red, orange, yellow, pink, silver, green and black, and most people who have seen them have said that they appear to pulsate. Although mysterious flying aircrafts seem like a new phenomena, declassified documents show the exact opposite, and that officials have been aware of these aircrafts for many years now, and in many cases struggle to explain their origins and how they are able to achieve what they do. During 1952, following the end of World War II and the growing tensions between the NATO allies and the Soviet Union, it was not uncommon for simulated naval war games to take place throughout different strategic points controlled by NATO. What was uncommon, however, were the series of reports surrounding unidentified objects, flying saucers, and encounters with what could only be described as advanced technology. Referred to as Operation Mainbrace, during the month of September back in 1952, there was roughly a 2-week period in which a series of unidentified objects were sighted by countless civilians and military personnel. According to the documents that would later be dubbed Operation Mainbrace, the mysterious sightings began on the 14th of September during a series of NATO exercises known as Exercise Mainbrace. Interestingly, this happened only a few months after the sightings of strange crafts were made over Washington, D.C. in the United States. The Exercise Mainbrace included more than 200 naval ships, 1,000 planes, and 80,000 soldiers from several NATO countries, with the purpose of practicing war game-styled maneuvers that would better prepare the NATO allies for a believed to be eventual European attack from the Soviet Union. However, during the exercise, ships were alerted by top Pentagon officials to keep an eye out for mysterious sightings in the area. When later asked to clarify what they meant, the Pentagon officials claimed that their reports were filed in a joking manner and were not military confirmation on the existence of advanced life, a behaviour uncharacteristic of naval intelligence and the British government as a whole. Regardless of whether or not the report was filed in a joking manner, a series of unidentified objects would be sighted by military personnel and civilians between the 13th and 25th of September, disrupting the wargame exercises and forcing the Royal Air Force and NATO allies to treat flying saucer reports with grave severity. The first Mainbrace encounter took place on the 13th of September, when the naval captain running a Danish destroyer claimed to have spotted a triangular-shaped object moving across the sky at record speeds that even their most powerful jets could not maintain. The crew of the Danish destroyer confirmed the sightings as well, with Lieutenant Commander Schmidt-Jensen claiming that collected data showed that the craft was moving consistently at 900 miles per hour. Even though the sighting took place at night, the entirety of the crew could see the craft as it emitted a bright blue glow. The second report surrounding the mysterious disruptions was made by the American-owned USS Franklin D. Roosevelt. According to an American newspaper, it reported that a man named Wallace Litwin began to notice many of the crew members running all throughout the ship in a heightened state of alert. Fearing that the exercises had become an attack from the Soviet Union, he began looking for the source of the panic and noticed a large commotion on the deck of the ship. Wallace Litwin wrote that several pilots, flight crew members and top military officials were positioned on the deck, barking orders and pointing at a silver sphere in the sky that appeared to be silently hovering near the ship and following the USS Franklin D. Roosevelt during its exercise. Reporter Wallace Litwin quickly took 4 high-quality coloured photos of the round silver object before it disappeared into the distance. When questioned surrounding the images and legitimacy of the claim, the United States government offered the explanation that the craft was nothing more than a weather balloon that had temporarily dipped down near the battleship during the war games. However, these claims would be put into question, as reporter Wallace Litwin recounts that shortly after taking the images of the craft, he had gone below deck and told his fellow newspaper correspondents that he had just shot a flying saucer, acting as if his camera had been a gun. This claim of military action quickly alerted the ship's executive officer, who investigated the claims himself and found that the craft was genuinely not a weather balloon. According to the executive officer, investigations had shown that a weather balloon had not been released that day. When the officer radioed the Midway, the only other NATO-approved ship in the vicinity, the ship also confirmed that no weather balloons were in the air or unaccounted for. Litwin would write the following report. In other words, the skies above this NATO fleet were very carefully observed and nothing flew around overhead unobserved, but I knew that I had taken a picture of what looked like a large ping-pong ball 10 feet over my head. End quote. The United States Project Blue Book investigation team would do a follow-up investigation and provide the report that the object moved too fast to have been a weather balloon. One of the most notable accounts of these sightings would take place on the 19th of September at 11 in the morning, and this was when a large silver-coloured disc-shaped object began following a Royal Air Force Gloucester meteor that had been returning to Royal Air Force Station Topcliffe. Not only did the pilot of the Gloucester meteor confirm his sighting with a number of military ground crew working at the Royal Air Force Station, but several additional reports had also been filed by observers on the ground, alongside civilian reports of the unidentified object trailing the Gloucester meteor. The craft was described as being a silvery circular object and began to descend in a swinging pendulum motion, similar to that of a falling sycamore leaf. However, before the craft reached the ground, observers commented that it rotated on its own axis and then shot off at an incredible sudden speed that looked more like a shooting star. Royal Air Force Flight Lieutenant John Kilburn, with the 269th Squadron, commented saying the following statement: "I have never seen such a phenomenon before. The movements of the object were not identifiable with anything I have seen in the air." End quote. Despite efforts made by the British government, the story of the Topcliffe sighting was leaked to the press and made the headline for the front page edition of the September 20th copy of the Yorkshire Evening Press and the headlines for the September 21st copy of the Sunday Dispatch. As mentioned earlier, this event happened after mysterious aircrafts were seen above Washington. Many people will say that if advanced life forms truly existed, then these visitors from another planet would quickly fly to the leaders of our world and confront them with their concerns or agendas. Depictions from old science fiction movies of the early 1900s showcase this thought more so than others, with props of unidentified objects landing on the White House lawn, filled with alien life attempting to approach the leader of the free world. However, what many are not actually aware of is that back in 1952, this very much proved to be the case. Later referred to by Project Blue Book specialists as the invasion of Washington, D.C. For roughly 8 consecutive days from July 19th to July 27th, the most publicized sightings of mysterious aircrafts took place above the nation's capital. Not only was there a tidal wave of reports that flooded in from the general population, but the reports consisted of high officials and members of the military and air force. One of these reports took place at 11:40 in the evening on Saturday, July 19th, and this was from a man by the name of Edward Nugent. Mr. Nugent was an air traffic controller at the Washington National Airport and detected 7 objects on his radar moving at speeds, flight paths and directions that no known human craft could have produced at the time. Nugent later wrote the following: "We knew immediately that a very strange situation existed. Their movements were completely radical compared to those of ordinary craft." End quote. This was merely the first report out of hundreds of sightings that took place during that time. This later caused a climax by then-President Harry Truman, who ordered the Air Force to investigate and provide an explanation for the wave of sightings and odd radar information data. This further led to involvement from the Central Intelligence Agency that worked with the Office of Scientific Intelligence and the Office of Current Intelligence to lead their own investigations into the matter. Given the credibility of the witness reports, the information retrieved by air traffic controllers and radar data specialists, and further investigations led by the Central Intelligence Agency, the existence of mysterious aircrafts seemed certain. Even with the abundance of evidence and eyewitness testimonies, the United States Air Force Director of Operations said the objects were stars. Many spoke out about this explanation and said that countless military officials tracked these objects and said there was no way these crafts were meteors or stars. Nikola Tesla was a Serbian-American inventor, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, and futurist. He is best known for his contributions to the design of the modern alternating current electricity supply system. Tesla was born in Smiljan, Croatia, then part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and studied engineering and physics in Austria and Czech Republic. After working for several years in Europe, he emigrated to the United States in 1884. In 1887, Tesla developed the concept of the alternating current electrical supply system, which is still used today for power transmission and distribution. Tesla also invented numerous other electrical devices, including the Tesla coil, a type of resonant transformer used in wireless communication, and the Tesla turbine, a bladeless turbine that uses fluid to generate power. Tesla was a prolific inventor and held over 300 patents in his lifetime. He also contributed to the fields of robotics, radar, and computer science. Despite his many accomplishments, Tesla struggled financially in his later years and passed away in relative obscurity in New York City in 1943. However, his legacy has endured, and he is widely regarded as one of the greatest inventors of all time. Going back a few years ago, the FBI released 64 pages of unreleased documents, and these were of particular interest because for many years theories had been floating around as to why Tesla's work was collected by the government. Many argued that the majority of Tesla's inventions would never work, so if this was the case, why then did the United States government quickly swoop in and collect his work shortly after he had passed away? Even the Central Intelligence Agency has released some interesting documents about the inventor, and again have detailed that they collected some of his work shortly after he passed away. As many have pointed out, something had obviously caught these agencies' attention, as they soon collected his work in order to comb through what he had been working on. One of their reasons for doing this was to ensure that any work of his didn't get into the wrong hands. For this reason, they decided it would be best if the documents remained in the property of the Office of Alien Property Custodian. However, this was until the documents and other pieces of Tesla's work mysteriously disappeared after the war. Interestingly, one document that was released by the Central Intelligence Agency reads as follows. He was particularly interested in high-frequency mechanical and electrical vibrations. He once claimed that, with only a pocket-sized vibrator, he could generate tremors that would split the Earth in two. Some of his experiments were fantastic, like something out of an early film version of Dr. Frankenstein's monster. He built enormous coils at his laboratory near Colorado Springs, with which he generated up to 12 million volts of electricity and hurled bolts of artificial lightning hundreds of feet through the air. End quote. Much of what he did was shrouded in mystery, and some of his experiments have never been duplicated. Some admirers claim that Tesla foresaw the so-called Star Wars program. He tried to sell the War Department on the idea of building death rays that he claimed could melt enemy warplanes at distances of hundreds of miles. Some of those papers are held even now in the archives of various United States intelligence and defense agencies, where they are studied for clues that might be useful in modern weaponry. These are some extracts from the official FBI documents that got released. On 26th and 27th of January 1943, an examination was made of the technical papers of Dr. Nikola Tesla, which after his death had been stored in the Manhattan warehouse in New York City. This examination was made for the purpose of determining if any ideas of significant value in the present United States war effort could be found among his possessions. Participating in this examination were Mr. John C. Newington, New York Office of the Alien Property Custodian, Dr. Charles of the Washington Office of Scientific Research and Development, and John G. Trump of the Office of Scientific Research and Development of Massachusetts Institute on Technology. The following papers, which were regarded as typical of Nikola Tesla's writings and thoughts in the period of 1925 to 1942, were removed for the purpose of record and listed below in random order in which they were found, together with a brief individual abstract. Exhibit A: Possibilities of Electrostatic Generators. An updated article probably written about 1934 discussing the possibilities, as a source of high-voltage DC power, of the Van de Graaff type of electrostatic belt generator. The article states correctly the electrostatic principles employed in this device and points out that suck generators are not suitable for commercial high-powered applications, though of undoubted scientific value. Tesla's wireless tower, erected in 1902 on Long Island, is stated in this memorandum to have charged to 30 million volts. Exhibit B: Reactive force of glycerin and dynamite. An undated memorandum involving some calculation of the explosive power of certain compounds, and then deviating to a discussion of the possibility of transmitting power by mechanical vibrations along the Earth's crust. Exhibit C: Process of degasifying, refining and purifying metals. A 40-page memorandum probably written about 1930 dealing with the above subject and proposing new theories of capillarity and surface tension. These correspondence indicated that this had been submitted to various industrial companies. Exhibit D: Replying to Antorg regarding the generation of high voltage and acceleration of charged particles. This document, dated 8th of November 1935, answers questions raised by Soviet engineers and scientists regarding Tesla's proposal of Ray. From this answer, it's deduced that the proposal concerned the generation of high voltages by electrostatic means. These means consisted of a high-voltage terminal, presumably supported on an insulating column, and charged by a gaseous charge conveying medium passing between ground and terminal. The ideas contained in this memorandum are fairly similar to the bolt conveyor electrostatic generator methods proposed by Van de Graaff, and do not appear to offer any unusual features. Exhibit E: Art of telegeodynamics, or art of producing terrestrial motions at distance. This document, in the form of a letter dated 12th of June 1940 to the Westinghouse Electric and Manufacturing Company, proposes a method for the transmission of large amounts of power over vast distances by means of mechanical vibrations on the Earth's crust. The source of power is a mechanical or electromechanical device bolted to some rocky protuberance and importing power at a resonance frequency of the Earth's crust. The proposed scheme appears to be completely visionary and unworkable. Westinghouse's reply indicates their polite rejection of this idea. Tesla said the following during an interview: "I wanted to illuminate the whole Earth. There is enough electricity to become a second sun. Light would appear around the equator as a ring around Saturn. Mankind is not ready for the great and good. In Colorado Springs, I soaked the Earth with electricity. Also, we can water other energies, such as positive mental energy. They are in the music of great composers or in the verses of great poets. In the Earth's interior, there are energies of joy, peace and love. Their expressions are a flower that grows from the Earth, the food we get out of her, and everything that makes man's homeland. I've spent years looking for the way that this energy could influence people. The beauty and the scent of roses can be used as a medicine, and the sun rays as a food. Life has an infinite number of forms, and the duty of scientists is to find them in every form of matter. 3 things are essential in this. All that I do is search for them. I know I will not find them, but I will not give up on them." Many who worked with Nikola Tesla, along with documents that have been released in recent years, show that Tesla created or at least worked on a device known as a death ray or peace ray. It's reported that this incredible device could destroy or disable enemy targets using directed energy. What's interesting about this is that in recent years the United States Navy has come forward and said that they are now actively using this technology, saying that it has the ability to shoot targets out of the sky. In fact, the United States Navy said that they are now in possession of the most powerful laser on the planet. Some have questioned whether this technology came from Nikola Tesla. Tesla did have an interest in directed energy and particle beam technology, and he did conduct experiments related to these fields in the later years of his life. However, it's unclear whether any of these experiments ever produced a practical weapon, or whether they were simply theoretical in nature. In any case, Tesla was known more for his contributions to electrical engineering, including the development of the alternating current electrical system, wireless communication, and numerous other inventions that have had a significant impact on modern technology. In his life, Nikola Tesla had hundreds of patents and was considered a master of his time, being able to look at things with an open mind, one of these being the vibrational properties of the space around us. A famous Tesla quote is the following: "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." He understood how physical vibrations worked and the effects they had on the human body, both good and bad. Tesla was the man responsible for helping his friend Mark Twain beat his constipation. Vibrational therapy is something that modern scientists have found interesting, with one recent study showing researchers that wounds exposed to vibration 5 times a week for 30 minutes healed more quickly than normal wounds, with the scientists saying that wounds exposed to vibration formed more granulation tissue, a type of tissue important early in the wound healing process. Nikola Tesla penned an open letter to talk about the process, saying the following: "During the past few weeks, I have received so many letters concerning the same subject that it was entirely beyond my power to answer all of them individually. In view of this, I hope that I shall be excused for the delay, which I must regret, in acknowledging the receipt, and also for addressing this general communication in answer to all inquiries. The many pressing demands which have been made upon me in consequence of exaggerated statements of the journals have painfully impressed me with the fact that there are a great many sufferers, and furthermore that nothing finds a more powerful echo than a promise held out to improve the condition of the unfortunate ones. The members of the medical fraternity are naturally more deeply interested in the task of relieving the suffering from their pain, and, as might be expected, a great many communications have been addressed to me by physicians. To these, chiefly, this brief statement of the actual facts is addressed. Some journals have confounded the physiological effects of electrical oscillations with those of mechanical vibrations, this being probably due to the circumstance that a few years ago I brought to the attention of the scientific men some novel methods and apparatus for the production of electrical oscillations, which I learn are now largely used in some modification or other in electrotherapeutic treatment and otherwise. To dispel this idea, I wish to state that the effects of purely mechanical vibrations, which I have more recently observed, have nothing to do with the former. Mechanical vibrations have often been employed locally with pronounced results in the treatment of diseases, but it seems that the effects I refer to have either not been noted at all, or if so, only to a small degree, evidently because of the insufficiency of the means which have eventually been employed in the investigations. While experimenting with a novel contrivance, constituting in its simplest form a vibrating mechanical system, in which from the nature of the construction the applied force is always in resonance with the natural period, I frequently exposed my body to continued mechanical vibrations. As the elastic force can be made as large as desired, and the applied force used be very small, great weights, 6 persons for instance, may be vibrated with great rapidity by a comparatively small apparatus. I observed that such intense mechanical vibrations produce remarkable physiological effects. They powerfully affect the condition of the stomach, undoubtedly promoting the process of digestion and relieving the feeling of distress, often experienced in consequence of the imperfect function of the organs concerned in the process. They have a strong influence upon the liver, causing it to discharge freely, similarly to an application of a cathartic. They also seem to affect the glandular system, notably in the limbs, also the kidneys and bladder, and more or less influence the whole body. When applied for a longer period, they produce a feeling of immense fatigue, so that a profound sleep is induced. The excessive tiring of the body is generally accompanied by nervous relaxation, but there seems to be a specific action on the nerves. These observations, though incomplete, are, in my own limited judgment, nevertheless positive and unmistakable. And in view of this, and of the importance of further investigation of the subject, I prepared about a year ago a machine with suitable adjustments for varying the frequency and amplitude of the vibrations, intending to give it to some medical faculty for investigation. This machine, together with other apparatus, was unfortunately destroyed by fire a year ago, but will be reconstructed as soon as possible." End quote. Google Earth, a popular online mapping platform, has revolutionized the way we explore our planet. Beyond its utility in mapping cities and landmarks, Google Earth has inadvertently become a tool for enthusiasts and researchers to search for unexplained aerial phenomena. This mysterious triangular-shaped object was found by someone who was scanning Google Earth, and the coordinates bring you to San Antonio, New Mexico, interestingly near the Holloman Air Force Base. Oddly enough, when you try to search for these coordinates, they no longer exist, and this has caused some researchers to suggest that these types of images are removed on purpose. Google Earth's vast database of satellite imagery allows users to zoom in on locations worldwide, providing a unique perspective on Earth's surface. Enthusiasts and researchers have eagerly employed this tool to scour the globe for unusual aerial anomalies. By examining high-resolution images, they aim to identify and document potential mysterious sightings. The image in question is from 2013, but as mentioned, despite several attempts to locate it again using the updated version of the software, it is no longer available. However, the sighting was submitted to the Mutual UFO network, so researchers have a data log from when the object was first discovered. Oddly enough, there was a strange circle marking etched into the ground right next to the triangular object, leading some to suggest that the aircraft may have created these strange patterns. Unidentified objects have fascinated and perplexed people for decades, and in recent years, more and more people are coming forward with their encounters, helping to bring this topic into the mainstream media. For this reason, objects such as this one are being seen by more people. Among the various shapes and forms reported, one of the most intriguing and frequently observed is the mysterious black triangle. Triangle-shaped objects, also known as black triangles, are characterized by their distinct shape, resembling an equilateral or isosceles triangle. Witnesses describe these objects as immense in size, with each side measuring hundreds of feet. They often exhibit a slow and silent movement, defying conventional aircraft capabilities. The most notable feature reported is the presence of lights on each corner of the craft, emitting a soft, steady glow. These black triangles have been reported worldwide, sparking intense interest among researchers and enthusiasts. One notable incident occurred in Belgium during the late 1980s. Over a period of several months, thousands of witnesses, including police officers and military personnel, reported observing large, low-flying, triangle-shaped craft. The Belgian wave, as it became known, captured international attention and remains one of the most well-documented cases in history. Similar sightings have occurred in various countries, including the United States, where reports of black triangles have surfaced from different regions. Witnesses describe the objects hovering silently and performing intricate maneuvers beyond the capabilities of known aircraft. These sightings often occur at night, with witnesses reporting mesmerizing lights on the underbelly of the craft. Numerous theories have been proposed to explain the origin and nature of these black triangles, with one prevailing theory being that these objects could be advanced military aircraft, part of a classified project employing advanced stealth technology. This theory posits that governments are testing new aerial platforms with enhanced maneuverability and surveillance capabilities. Another theory speculates that black triangles could be advanced in nature. Proponents argue that the sheer size, silent propulsion, and unusual flight patterns suggest a technology far beyond our current understanding. Some theorize that these crafts may be piloted by highly advanced civilizations conducting surveillance or scientific exploration, while others suggest that they are drones that have been sent here by other planets, similar to what we've done on Mars. This theory could explain how these objects are able to fly at the speeds they do, with believers in this theory saying that anything biological inside would likely be taken out by the force that's created, and the idea that they are probes would make more sense. A third theory posits that black triangles may be the result of a covert black project developed by a powerful group or organization. According to this theory, these organizations possess advanced technologies that have been kept secret from the public. They speculate that the craft's appearance and behavior could be the result of revolutionary propulsion systems and energy sources. The United States has been a hotbed for triangle sightings, with reports spanning several decades. Numerous witness accounts, including those from credible sources such as pilots, military personnel, and law enforcement officers, add weight to the phenomenon's legitimacy. Sightings often occur in various regions, with notable clusters reported in areas such as the Hudson Valley in New York, the Phoenix Lights incident in Arizona, and the Illinois Triangle sighting. Pilots have reported encountering these triangles, but note that our fastest jets don't have the ability to keep up with them. Black triangle-shaped aircrafts continue to fascinate and intrigue both researchers and the general public. With numerous documented sightings, including those from credible witnesses such as military personnel and law enforcement officers, these objects remain an enigma. The characteristics, reported sightings, and theories surrounding these black triangles fuel ongoing discussions and investigations into their nature and origin, while the exact explanation for these sightings remains elusive. The prevalence of black triangle reports suggests that there is something significant happening in our skies. Whether the objects are advanced military aircraft, extraterrestrial in origin, or the result of covert black projects, their existence challenges our understanding of conventional aviation and raises profound questions about our place in the universe. Further research, collaboration, and scientific inquiry are crucial to unraveling the mysteries surrounding these aircrafts. The exploration of these unexplained phenomena invites us to embrace curiosity, expand our knowledge, and remain open to the possibility of extraordinary discoveries. Just recently, NASA announced that they are researching these aircraft, but note that further evidence is needed for us to come to a conclusive answer on what these objects are. In the pursuit of understanding, we must continue to gather and analyze data, encourage credible eyewitness testimonies, and foster an environment where the study of mysterious aircrafts can thrive. The International Space Station orbits the Earth, serving as a beacon of scientific exploration and international collaboration. However, alongside its remarkable achievements, the International Space Station has also become the focal point of intriguing reports and recordings of unidentified objects. Recently, some interesting photographs have been shared around social media, showing what appears to be two medium-sized black cubes flying past one of the International Space Station's cameras. As the live feed camera transmitted images of the Earth and surrounding space, a user online noticed two small, dark objects in the distance. They said that its shape and movements deviated from the expected patterns of space debris or known satellites. Intrigued, they started to take some screenshots in the hopes of better understanding what it was that they witnessed. They said that the objects were in the shape of a cube, saying that it maneuvered gracefully through the vast emptiness of space. The user said that it flew past the camera within a matter of seconds and displayed agility and speed beyond the capabilities of any known human-made spacecraft. With the mysterious object captivating their attention, they knew that they were witnessing something strange, and so quickly grabbed some screenshots. They said that the object's flight patterns and advanced maneuvers challenged conventional understanding, raising questions about its technological capabilities and potential nature. After sharing the photographs online, some suggested that the small black objects were advanced reconnaissance probes from an advanced civilization observing humanity's activities from afar. Others theorized that it could be a result of a top-secret military experiment, pushing the boundaries of aerospace technology. Regardless of the explanations, the sighting opened up a world of possibilities and triggered discussions about the existence of intelligent life beyond Earth. However, despite numerous attempts at trying to explain what these objects were, they remained a mystery. Interestingly, those who saw the photographs said that this isn't the first time that these objects have been captured on the International Space Station's live cameras, and said that over the years, a variety of strange objects have been captured. Although NASA and other space agencies have said that these objects are nothing of interest and can normally be explained as things like space debris and camera glitches, this hasn't stopped users from investigating further, noting that every so often these objects can be seen during the live streams. Whether these two small black objects were an otherworldly visitor, a product of advanced human technology, or something else entirely, its presence has left many unanswered questions, and as humanity continues its voyage of discovery, the enigmatic encounter serves as a constant reminder that the universe is full of surprises, waiting to be discovered. As mentioned, numerous recordings from the International Space Station have captured objects appearing in the frame, exhibiting unconventional flight patterns and unexplained characteristics. Eyewitness accounts and footage reveal sightings of spherical, cylindrical or disc-shaped objects maneuvering near the space station. These objects often exhibit high speeds, abrupt changes in direction, and anomalous behavior that cannot be easily explained by known space debris or natural phenomena. Several explanations have been proposed to account for the mysterious objects caught near the International Space Station. One possibility is the presence of space debris or satellites, which can occasionally pass by the station. However, the distinct flight patterns and behaviors observed in some cases defy the characteristics of typical space debris or known satellite movements. Another explanation involves misidentifications or lens flares caused by light reflections or internal optics within the cameras. Such optical phenomena can create the illusion of objects or anomalies in the recorded footage. However, the consistency of witness reports and the corroboration between different camera angles challenge the notion that all sightings are mere artifacts. The sightings of these mysterious objects have fueled speculation about potential advanced civilizations. Proponents of this hypothesis argue that the peculiar flight patterns and advanced technology displayed by these objects suggest the presence of intelligent life monitoring our planet or interacting with the space station. While this hypothesis is intriguing, it remains speculative, as definitive proof of advanced activity is yet to be established. The complex nature of this phenomenon requires rigorous scientific investigation and analysis of available evidence to ascertain the true nature of these sightings. The realm of outer space has always been shrouded in mystery, and astronauts, as intrepid explorers, are no strangers to encounters with the unknown. Several astronauts have come forward with accounts of mysterious aircrafts. Those who believe in this phenomenon have said that if you are going to believe anyone, then you should believe those who've actually been to space. Perhaps the most notable is the testimony of Buzz Aldrin, the second person to walk on the moon. Aldrin has stated that he and his fellow Apollo 11 crew members observed a mysterious object during their journey to the moon, describing it as a cylindrical object moving alongside their spacecraft. Similarly, Edgar Mitchell, the sixth person to walk on the moon as part of the Apollo 14 mission, spoke openly about his belief in advanced life and his conviction that mysterious objects have visited Earth. Mitchell claimed that multiple astronauts have witnessed these objects, but the information has been withheld from the public. In addition to these renowned astronauts, other space explorers, including Gordon Cooper and Story Musgrave, have shared their own encounters with unidentified objects during their missions. Their descriptions often include sightings of bright lights, strange formations, or objects exhibiting rapid acceleration and maneuverability. The testimonies of astronauts hold considerable weight due to their extensive training, scientific backgrounds, and credibility within the space exploration community. These individuals are trained observers who have undergone rigorous astronaut selection processes and have extensive knowledge of spacecraft and celestial phenomena. The testimonies of astronauts who claim to have encountered mysterious objects during their space missions provide intriguing insights into the unexplained phenomena that occur beyond our planet. While skeptics offer alternative explanations and caution against misinterpretations, the credibility and training of these astronauts demand careful consideration. The experiences shared by these space explorers encourage scientific inquiry, inspire curiosity, and challenge our understanding of the universe. As we continue to explore the cosmos, further research and investigation into these encounters will shed light on the nature of these objects and potentially reshape our understanding of our place in the universe. Anonymous just came forward and said the following about the UAP hearing. With this UAP stuff, we're not saying to not be skeptical. What we are saying is, it's obvious any way you look at it, the American people have been lied to. Either a disinformation campaign was created to make the primary focus on aliens as a distraction, or the people coming forward are actually telling the truth. Either way anyone looks at this, there are lies, and there needs to be accountability for those lies. There are way too many people involved, and for people to come forward and perpetuate a lie in front of a sworn-in congressional hearing is a big deal. This is why we are calling for transparency. If it's not aliens, the government has a lot of explaining to do. If it's aliens, the government has a lot of explaining to do. There's a lot of information to unfold with the UAP phenomena." End quote. In recent years, the enigmatic collective known as Anonymous has extended its investigative reach to an unlikely frontier, the investigation of unidentified aerial phenomena sightings. Traditionally associated with cyber activism and hacktivism, Anonymous's involvement in UAP investigations reflects a growing public interest in the mysterious encounters reported by military personnel, pilots, and civilians alike. Anonymous, as a decentralized and diverse group, has always been intrigued by mysteries and enigmas. The UAP phenomenon presents a significant puzzle that has long captured the imagination of the public. The lack of a definitive explanation for numerous sightings and encounters compels Anonymous members to explore these unexplained occurrences, driven by their innate curiosity and desire for answers. Anonymous has a history of questioning official narratives and challenging institutions perceived as concealing the truth. In the case of UAP sightings, numerous governments and military organizations have been reticent about disclosing information to the public. By investigating UAP encounters, Anonymous seeks to shed light on potential cover-ups and demand transparency from authorities regarding their knowledge of these events. A key tenet of Anonymous's ideology is advocating for freedom of information and the democratization of knowledge. In the context of UAP sightings, there have been allegations of classified documents and data being withheld from public scrutiny. Anonymous's involvement in the investigation aims to push for the release of relevant information to ensure that the public has access to the data and evidence related to UAP encounters. Anonymous possesses a unique capacity to disseminate information and draw public attention to various issues. By investigating and highlighting UAP sightings, the group aims to increase awareness of the phenomenon and encourage open discussions about its potential implications. This approach aligns with their broader mission of fostering informed citizenry and empowering people to engage in critical thinking. Anonymous often seeks connections between seemingly unrelated issues. In the case of UAP sightings, some members may see correlations between these encounters and other pressing social concerns, such as technological advancements and governmental accountability. By investigating UAP sightings, they might aim to explore these intersections and spark discussions about the broader impact of such phenomena on society. Anonymous's actions are often driven by a deep-rooted distrust of traditional authorities and institutions. Their involvement in UAP investigations might be fueled by skepticism towards official explanations and the belief that truth is concealed by those in power. By taking on UAP research, they can challenge dominant narratives and question the legitimacy of authoritative sources. Engaging in UAP investigations represents a departure from Anonymous's traditional online activism. By venturing into the realm of unidentified object research, the collective expands the scope of its activities and showcases the flexibility of its decentralized structure. This shift highlights the adaptability of the group and its capacity to explore diverse issues that capture public interest. As of right now, the group has been vocal on social media, and many have said that their involvement in investigating UAP sightings reflects their inherent curiosity, desire for transparency, and willingness to challenge established narratives. Their pursuit of truth and information aligns with their broader mission of promoting freedom of information and empowering the public through knowledge. By extending their investigative reach to the realm of UAP encounters, Anonymous brings further attention to this mysterious phenomenon and calls for greater openness and discourse surrounding the unexplained events reported by witnesses worldwide. Whether their efforts will lead to significant revelations or simply contribute to the ongoing discussion about UAP remains to be seen, but their involvement underscores the ever-evolving landscape of unidentified object research and the enduring fascination with the unexplained. The possibility of advanced life and the potential for alien contact have long fascinated humanity. Imaginations have been ignited by science fiction tales, and the question of whether we are alone in the universe remains a profound mystery. If aliens were to make contact with Earth, the consequences would undoubtedly be profound, reshaping our understanding of the cosmos, society, and ourselves. The discovery of intelligent extraterrestrial life would be an epochal event in the history of science. It would confirm the existence of life beyond our planet, revolutionizing astrobiology, astronomy, and related fields. Scientists would eagerly analyze any signals or messages received, seeking to decode alien languages and understand the scientific and technological knowledge they may share. Philosophers would grapple with existential questions about our place in the universe, challenging long-held beliefs and prompting new perspectives on the nature of life and consciousness. The revelation of alien contact would transcend borders, cultures, and religions, uniting humanity in an unprecedented way. Facing a shared cosmic identity, many conflicts and divisions that currently plague our world could pale in significance. The unifying effect would not be without challenges, as some may struggle to reconcile their beliefs with the new reality. Nevertheless, the potential for global cooperation and collaboration could pave the way for a more peaceful and interconnected world. Contact with an advanced civilization would raise ethical questions about how to approach and communicate with them. Just as we would hope for respectful and peaceful interactions, we would need to be cautious about any potential threats posed by an advanced alien civilization. The scientific community and governments would likely establish protocols for responsible communication and consider the implications of sharing sensitive information about humanity and our planet. The technological impact of alien contact would be immense. Advanced alien civilizations might possess knowledge and technologies far beyond our own, inspiring accelerated research and innovation. The quest for faster-than-light travel, interstellar communication, and understanding the fabric of the universe would become paramount. Additionally, knowledge sharing between humans and extraterrestrial beings could propel our technology and scientific understanding forward by leaps and bounds. The prospect of alien contact has long been a subject of debate among religious communities. The revelation of intelligent life beyond Earth would likely prompt various theological interpretations and challenges. Some religious groups might perceive extraterrestrial beings as part of their belief system, while others might struggle to incorporate such an idea into their worldview. Religious leaders and scholars would face the task of navigating these complexities while addressing the moral and spiritual dimensions of the encounter. Alien contact could evoke a mix of emotions ranging from wonder and excitement to fear and anxiety. Human psychology would be profoundly affected as people grapple with the implications of interacting with a species from another planet. Governments and institutions would need to provide support and information to help the public cope with this extraordinary event. The confirmation of alien life would fuel an even greater enthusiasm for space exploration. Over the centuries, humanity has continually been captivated by the mystery of the cosmos. As our understanding of the universe expands, so do the theoretical possibilities for traversing its vast expanses. One such theory that holds immense potential for advanced interstellar travel involves the use of wormholes. A concept born out of the field of theoretical physics, wormholes propose a novel approach to covering cosmic distances that may not only be feasible for advanced civilizations, but could also significantly minimize travel times between distant stellar systems. Wormholes, also known as Einstein-Rosen bridges, are hypothetical structures that connect two disparate points in spacetime. These entities emerged from the equations of general relativity posited by Albert Einstein and Nathan Rosen. They proposed that wormholes could serve as shortcuts through spacetime, allowing travelers to cover vast cosmic distances in a fraction of the time required by traditional means of space travel. To visualize this, one can imagine folding a piece of paper so that 2 points touch, symbolizing a direct connection that defies the conventional linearity of space. Despite the captivating potential of wormholes, their utilization for space travel is laden with challenges. Firstly, the existence of wormholes has not been empirically proven. While the equations of general relativity allow for their theoretical existence, we lack concrete scientific evidence to support their physical presence in the universe. Secondly, stability poses a significant problem. It's theorized that wormholes may be prone to rapid collapse, which could potentially destroy anything passing through them. However, physicists have proposed that exotic matter with negative energy density could be used to stabilize wormholes. Assuming these obstacles are surmountable, an advanced civilization could potentially construct and utilize wormholes for interstellar travel. The civilization would need a profound understanding of physics, particularly the laws governing spacetime and exotic matter, to engineer and stabilize wormholes. They might also require advanced technology for navigating and ensuring safe passage through these space-time shortcuts. The impact of successful wormhole-based space travel would be profound. It would revolutionize the concept of distance, turning remote galaxies into attainable destinations. The ability to traverse vast distances instantaneously would facilitate exploration and potential colonization efforts on a truly cosmic scale, broadening our horizons beyond anything previously imaginable. In the context of potential contact with extraterrestrial life, wormholes could play a vital role. It's been speculated that civilizations advanced enough to create and use wormholes may already exist within our universe. If this were the case, such civilizations could have already explored large portions of the universe, or even established expansive intergalactic empires. The use of wormholes for space travel also opens up philosophical and existential debates. It challenges our perception of time and causality, leading to paradoxical scenarios such as time travel. If wormholes can connect not only different points in space, but also different moments in time, they could enable trips to both the distant past and the far future, creating a complex web of causal relations and raising profound philosophical questions about the nature of reality. Theories involving space-time manipulation, exotic propulsion systems, and energy-efficient travel methods propose a variety of mechanisms by which such interstellar journeys may be made feasible. One promising theory for high-speed space travel is the concept of warp drives. Theoretical physicist Miguel Alcubierre postulated a mechanism where a spacecraft could contract space-time in front of it and expand space-time behind it. This warp bubble would enable the craft to traverse cosmic distances at an effective speed surpassing light, without violating the principles of Einstein's theory of relativity. An advanced civilization could harness the energy requirements of an Alcubierre drive to expedite interstellar travel. Moreover, the idea of using starships propelled by matter-antimatter reactions presents a practical approach for long-distance space travel. Matter-antimatter propulsion promises a higher energy yield compared to conventional rocketry, considering that an antimatter particle reacting with a matter particle converts almost entirely into energy, as stipulated by Einstein's mass-energy equivalence principle. With the necessary technological advancements to control antimatter, an advanced civilization could embark on extended interstellar journeys. Beyond these relatively faster means of travel, generation ships, self-sustaining spacecraft designed to support multiple generations of inhabitants, provide another method for interstellar travel. On June 21, 2017, a couple in Montrose, Colorado, witnessed a peculiar occurrence in the sky. According to the witness, as they were watching the sunset from their front deck, the husband noticed bright lights moving in their direction from the west. The wife hurried inside to grab her phone, while her husband grabbed his Canon camera, and together they successfully captured images of the first object. While taking pictures and videos with their phones, they stated that one of their friends who was there at the time witnessed an unusual object in the sky, detailing that it can best be described as resembling a phoenix or angelic form. The object had a long and thin silver body that looked like a jet or cylinder with a potential nose pointing downwards. The couple managed to capture pictures and video of the sighting from two different angles, but said that it didn't look like anything they had ever seen before, saying that one of the first things that came to mind was that this object looked like a phoenix. The couple said that at the time of the sighting it was cloudy day, but noted that they weren't the only ones who saw this. It is unclear whether there were one or two of these entities, one potentially circling the city due to the timing of their separate appearances. The couple said that the shape of the object they encountered was not immediately evident until they viewed photos of it on their computer. They felt both eager and anxious upon seeing it, as they said that they have witnessed other unidentified objects in the past. However, this particular object differed from the last two they saw, which were hovering in tandem above a local restaurant. The image was sent to the Mutual UFO network and was filed under case number 84548. Interestingly, this couple were not the only ones to report this sighting, but were the only ones to capture this image, and this was due to the husband having a telephoto lens, which is a long focus lens that allows photographers to take images of objects far away from them. Various theories have been put forward in order to explain what this object was, and interestingly, some suggested that it could have been the mythical Thunderbird. Native American mythology is rich with stories of powerful and majestic creatures that inhabit the skies, and one of the most prominent among them is the Thunderbird. Revered and respected by numerous tribes across North America, the Thunderbird holds a significant place in indigenous folklore, symbolizing strength, power, and spiritual connection. In Native American cultures, the Thunderbird is often depicted as a large bird-like creature with wings that span the sky. It is believed to have the ability to create thunder and lightning, hence its name. The Thunderbird is associated with the forces of nature, particularly storms, and is seen as a powerful and sometimes unpredictable force. Different tribes have their own unique interpretations of the Thunderbird, but common themes prevail across many traditions. Among the Ojibwe people, for example, the Thunderbird is known as Benesi and is considered a powerful and sacred being. According to their legends, the Thunderbird plays a vital role in maintaining the balance of the natural world and has the ability to bring rain and renew the earth. Similarly, the Lakota people regard the Thunderbird as a sacred and powerful creature. They believe that the Thunderbird is responsible for delivering important messages between the spiritual and physical realms. It is considered a guardian and protector, watching over the people and bringing blessings and good fortune. Legends surrounding the Thunderbird often intertwine with creation stories and important cultural beliefs. For many tribes, the Thunderbird is associated with the sun, representing its transformative power and life-giving energy. It is also believed to possess healing properties, with its feathers and body parts used in various rituals and ceremonies for their perceived spiritual and medicinal qualities. The Thunderbird is not merely a creature of myth and legend, but is deeply ingrained in the cultural fabric of Native American communities. Its image can be found in traditional artwork, totem poles, and regalia, symbolizing the tribe's connection to the natural world and their reverence for the forces of nature. Beyond its cultural significance, the Thunderbird also holds relevance in the contemporary world. Its image has been adopted by various organizations and sports teams, serving as a symbol of strength, resilience, and unity. This recognition and incorporation of the Thunderbird into mainstream culture is a testament to the enduring power and influence of Native American beliefs and traditions. The significance of the Thunderbird extends beyond its symbolic representation. Many individuals claim to have witnessed sightings or encounters with creatures resembling the Thunderbird. These accounts often describe large, winged creatures with incredible wingspans and extraordinary abilities. While these reports cannot be scientifically verified, they contribute to the ongoing fascination and intrigue surrounding the Thunderbird and its existence. The Thunderbird's presence in Native American mythology serves as a reminder of the deep connection between indigenous cultures and the natural world. It emphasizes the importance of respecting and living in harmony with the environment, recognizing the power and wisdom inherent in the natural elements. Some people don't think that this sighting was a mythical creature and labeled it as an unidentified object. The number of reported UFO sightings varies from year to year, and it is challenging to establish an accurate count due to several factors, including the varying definitions of unidentified objects and the reporting practices in different regions. However, it is evident that a significant number of sightings are reported annually, with thousands of cases being documented worldwide. One of the key challenges in estimating the exact number of reports is the fact that not all sightings are reported or recorded. Many individuals may witness something unusual in the sky, but choose not to report it for various reasons, such as fear of ridicule or a lack of awareness of reporting mechanisms. As a result, the reported numbers are likely only a fraction of the actual sightings that occur. Despite these limitations, several organizations and agencies actively collect and analyze reports. The National UFO Reporting Center in the United States, for example, receives thousands of reports each year. Other countries also have similar organizations or initiatives dedicated to recording and investigating UFO sightings. The Mutual UFO Network is another prominent organization that collects and investigates reports worldwide. In addition to these organizations, advancements in technology and the widespread use of smartphones have made it easier for individuals to document and report sightings. People can capture photos or videos and quickly share them through social media platforms or dedicated sighting websites. This accessibility has contributed to an increase in the number of reported sightings in recent years. The possibility of discovering signs of advanced life and beings is not typically associated with major religious institutions, including the Vatican. Some speculate whether any findings may exist within the Vatican's secret archives, which span several centuries and could possibly include such information. According to the director of the Vatican Observatory, Dr. Jose Funes, new evidence suggests that the Vatican may possess evidence of the existence of advanced life and could be concealing their existence from the public. In a recent interview, Dr. Funes stated that due to the immense size of the universe, it is highly probable that life forms similar to those on Earth have evolved elsewhere. This marks the first time Vatican representatives have publicly acknowledged the possibility of extraterrestrial life. This marks a noteworthy change in Vatican policy, as until now, the stance upheld by the institution was that the existence of advanced life was not plausible. This recent shift suggests that either an event of great significance has taken place, or a discovery has been made that has required this statement to be issued. Hence the reversal of a teaching that has been upheld for more than 2 millennia. Previous reports suggest that the Vatican possesses concrete proof of the existence of intelligent life beyond our planet. This is because the Vatican houses a private, yet well-funded scientific academy known as the Pontifical Academy of Sciences, which is specifically dedicated to the study of astronomy and celestial bodies. Additionally, it was verified that in 1998, the Vatican Library uncovered skulls possessing elongated heads and small faces that couldn't be attributed to any known species on Earth. Despite repeated denials, this assertion has been met with plenty of skepticism, particularly with respect to access to the supposed discovery site. However, if accurate, it implies that the Vatican has knowledge of advanced life and is concealing it. The Vatican Archives, located within the Vatican City, house an extensive collection of historical documents and records that span centuries. This repository of knowledge holds a significant place in the annals of human history, and its contents have been a subject of great curiosity and speculation. While portions of the archives have been made accessible to researchers and scholars, there are certain sections that remain restricted from public access, leading to questions about what might be hidden within its walls. The Vatican Archives, officially known as the Vatican Apostolic Archives, contain a vast collection of papal correspondence, historical manuscripts, papal bulls, decrees, letters, and other documents dating back to the 8th century. The archives are a treasure trove of information, offering insights into the Catholic Church's history, the lives of popes and religious figures, diplomatic affairs, and various aspects of human civilization. Despite the invaluable historical significance of the Vatican Archives, access to its contents has been limited. The restrictions are primarily due to the preservation and protection of delicate documents, as well as the need to respect privacy, confidentiality, and the religious sensitivities associated with certain materials. Scholars and researchers are allowed access to the archives, but they must meet specific criteria and obtain permission from the Vatican authorities. The process requires a legitimate research purpose and can involve navigating through bureaucratic channels. The Vatican employs a team of archivists and experts to assist researchers in their inquiries and facilitate their access to the materials. However, even with authorized access, some documents may remain off-limits due to their delicate condition or the sensitive nature of their content. The restricted sections of the Vatican archives have given rise to speculation and theories about what might be hidden within. Some theories suggest that the archives hold controversial documents related to the Church's involvement in historical events, including matters of religious doctrine, papal decisions, and even potential historical cover-ups. These speculations have fueled popular culture and fictional narratives, but without concrete evidence, they remain speculative in nature. It is essential to note that the Vatican has taken steps toward transparency and accessibility in recent years. In 2019, Pope Francis announced the unsealing of the archives, a decision aimed at shedding light on the Church's actions during World War II. The gradual opening of these archives reflects a commitment to historical research and accountability. While certain sections of the Vatican archives remain inaccessible to the general public, It is crucial to understand that this is not uncommon in the realm of historical archives. Many institutions, including national archives and private collections, have restricted access to sensitive or fragile materials to ensure their preservation and integrity. Archivists and custodians of historical documents bear the responsibility of balancing public access with the need for safeguarding irreplaceable artifacts. As of right now, the Vatican archives hold a wealth of historical and cultural treasures, providing valuable insights into the Catholic Church's history and broader aspects of human civilization. While access to the archives is restricted, efforts have been made to grant authorized researchers access to their contents. The limitations stem from the need to protect fragile documents and respect privacy, confidentiality, and religious sensitivities. While the restricted sections have sparked speculation and theories, concrete evidence regarding the hidden contents remains elusive. The ongoing efforts toward transparency and greater accessibility demonstrate the Vatican's commitment to scholarly research and historical inquiry. The allure of space exploration and the mysteries of the cosmos have long captivated humanity's imagination. Over the years, reports of unidentified objects have fueled speculation about advanced life and advanced technology beyond Earth. SpaceX, founded by entrepreneur Elon Musk in 2002, has rapidly become a leader in the space industry, with ambitious goals of making space travel more accessible and sustainable. While SpaceX has made significant strides in space exploration, it has also become inadvertently entangled with unidentified objects, raising questions about the nature of these encounters and their implications. Over the years, there have been several reports of unidentified objects spotted in close proximity to SpaceX rockets during launches or while in orbit. These sightings, often captured on camera, have generated considerable interest and debate among researchers, space enthusiasts, and the general public. A space mission launched by SpaceX, equipped with state-of-the-art technology, encountered an unusual sighting, an elongated cylinder-shaped object that slowly approached the SpaceX rocket. The cylinder-shaped, unidentified object, appearing as a metallic, elongated object, exhibits no known propulsion system or origin. Its approach toward the SpaceX rocket defies conventional understanding. The object's symmetrical and streamlined design suggests a level of engineering far beyond terrestrial capabilities, inviting speculation about its potential advanced origin. As the cylinder approached, the live footage was stopped and was even edited to remove the object from the live stream. As of right now, there are instances where unidentified objects or anomalies are captured in the background of these live feeds. When NASA or other space agencies remove such objects from their live streams, it's typically for a combination of logical and technical reasons. However, researchers have said this is done in order to cover up these mysterious objects. On April 30th, SpaceX's colossal Falcon Heavy rocket effectively deployed 3 satellites into high Earth orbit, marking a significant milestone, as it was the first time that none of the rocket's boosters were retrieved. On the evening of Sunday, April 30th, the rocket launched and all stages performed as expected, delivering the trio of payloads to geostationary Earth orbit. The exhaust emitted from the rocket created an impressive spectacle, as observed from a perspective on the ground. Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX, has expressed that he would consider it a success if the new Falcon Heavy rocket manages to launch without any issues. The rocket engines were successfully tested at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, paving the way for its first ever flight in the upcoming weeks. However, during this mission, users watching the live stream said that they saw strange objects in the background. This caused the users to take videos of the objects and post them to social media. Oddly enough, those who investigate the unknown have said that this isn't the first time that mysterious objects have been captured during SpaceX missions, and it's caused some to suggest that these videos could be proof of unidentified objects. In the vast expanse of the night sky, the Falcon Heavy rocket soared into space, carrying a payload of satellites destined for orbit. The atmosphere at the launch site was electrifying, with spectators and engineers watching the powerful engines ignite, propelling the spacecraft towards the stars. Among the eager onlookers were those interested in unidentified objects. One user named Tom said they had always been captivated by the mysteries of the universe, and he couldn't resist the opportunity to witness a SpaceX mission firsthand. Armed with his trusty telescope and camera, he set up his equipment in a prime viewing spot. As the rocket climbed higher and higher into the sky, leaving a trail of exhaust behind, Tom scanned the surrounding area with his telescope. His eyes widened as he noticed something peculiar, a light object hovering in the vicinity of the spacecraft. It appeared to be glowing and staying close to the rocket. He quickly viewed the live feed in order to confirm his sighting, and noted that the mysterious object seemed to effortlessly match the speed and trajectory of the Falcon Heavy, stating that it maintained a steady distance. He was one of the people who uploaded the footage to social media, saying that you can see two objects flying past the rocket. He said that its smooth and seamless movements indicated an advanced level of technology. In recent years, there have been numerous reports of unidentified objects in close proximity to SpaceX missions. These sightings have sparked curiosity and intrigue among both space enthusiasts and enthusiasts alike. While the exact nature and origin of these UFOs remain a subject of debate, several factors can be considered to understand why they are often observed near SpaceX missions. Firstly, the launch of a SpaceX mission attracts significant attention from the public and media. These missions involve advanced technology, groundbreaking achievements, and the exploration of outer space. Such high-profile events naturally draw the interest of individuals who are interested in unidentified objects. As a result, people are more likely to be actively observing the skies during these missions, increasing the chances of spotting unusual aerial phenomena. Secondly, the presence of mysterious aircrafts near SpaceX missions may be attributed to the characteristics of the rockets and spacecraft themselves. SpaceX has been at the forefront of developing innovative technologies and pushing the boundaries of space exploration. Moreover, it is important to acknowledge the possibility that some of these sightings may be misinterpretations or misidentifications of conventional objects or atmospheric phenomena. However, it is worth noting that some sightings near SpaceX missions defy conventional explanations. Witnesses have reported witnessing objects that exhibit extraordinary flight characteristics, such as sudden changes in direction, rapid acceleration, or hovering in place. These sightings challenge our understanding of known aerodynamic principles and raise intriguing questions about the nature of these objects. One possible explanation for the presence of mysterious aircrafts near SpaceX missions is the hypothesis that advanced civilizations may be monitoring our technological advancements and space exploration efforts. It is conceivable that highly advanced civilizations from other star systems are curious about our progress and are observing our activities. SpaceX missions, with their cutting-edge technology and ambitious goals, could be of particular interest to these civilizations. Another perspective suggests that the sightings near SpaceX missions could be related to the phenomenon known as interstellar transit. According to this theory, advanced extraterrestrial civilizations may be utilizing gravitational assists from spacecraft or harnessing energy from rockets to facilitate their own interstellar travel. In this scenario, the sightings could be instances of these civilizations taking advantage of the gravitational or energy fields created by SpaceX missions. While the true nature of these sightings near SpaceX missions remains a mystery, they underscore the need for continued scientific exploration and open-mindedness. It is essential to investigate and analyze these reports using rigorous scientific methods, taking into account both conventional and unconventional explanations. The question of whether advanced life exists elsewhere in the universe has captivated humanity for centuries. Are we alone in the vast expanse of space, or is there a higher probability of advanced civilizations thriving beyond our planet? The vastness of the universe is an awe-inspiring concept. With billions of galaxies, each containing billions of stars, it seems inconceivable that Earth would be the only planet capable of sustaining life. The sheer number of potential habitable worlds provides a statistical basis for the existence of advanced life elsewhere. Moreover, the discovery of thousands of exoplanets, some of which reside in the habitable zone of their star systems, has fueled optimism that conditions necessary for life may be common in the universe. The existence of extremophiles, organisms capable of thriving in extreme conditions on Earth, also supports the possibility of advanced life in the universe. These resilient life forms have been found in environments once considered inhospitable, such as deep-sea hydrothermal vents, acidic lakes, and frozen tundra. If life can adapt and persist in such harsh environments on Earth, it suggests that similar adaptations might have occurred on other worlds, enabling the development of advanced life forms. Another factor to consider is the age of the universe. The universe is estimated to be approximately 13.8 billion years old, providing ample time for the evolution of advanced civilizations. Given the vast timescales involved, it is plausible that intelligent life may have emerged and progressed beyond our current level of technological advancement elsewhere in the cosmos. If this is the case, the chances of encountering advanced extraterrestrial civilizations become increasingly likely. Following a series of incidents involving the downing of unidentified objects in Alaska, the Yukon, and Lake Huron in February, a secret memo was presented to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, outlining the Canadian government's response to the Yukon incident on February 11th. The memo also mentioned that the US Air Force was in the process of full exploitation of the object shot down over Alaska's waters on February 10th, although it did not provide further details on the nature of this intelligence exploitation. Moreover, a few days later, reports surfaced indicating that the search for the wreckage of the downed object had been called off by the United States. The exact purpose and extent of the intelligence exploitation remain uncertain. The memorandum for the Prime Minister, which was obtained by the Canadian CTV news outlet from a source who filed a Freedom of Information Act request, has shed light on a significant incident involving an unidentified object over the Yukon. This memo, which has been independently verified by the news organization, provides crucial details regarding the handling of unidentified aerial phenomena by the North American Aerospace Defense Command. The North American Aerospace Defense Command employs a systematic approach to track and monitor all detected objects that cannot be immediately identified. Through a sequential numbering system, these objects are meticulously documented to ensure thorough analysis. The majority of these objects, upon further investigation, are found to be harmless and fail to meet the criteria for higher-level reporting or engagement. However, the memo highlights a particular unidentified object, referred to as UAP-23, denoting it as the 23rd unidentified radar track, recorded by the North American Aerospace Defense Command over North America during that specific time frame. It is noteworthy that this particular object, classified as a UAP, raised significant concerns as it was eventually intercepted and shot down. This in-depth disclosure not only emphasizes the rigorous tracking protocols implemented by the North American Aerospace Defense Command, but also underscores the unique nature of UAP-23 that warranted increased attention and decisive action. The comprehensive nature of this memo affords a detailed understanding of the incident, enabling a more enriched perspective on the complexities surrounding unidentified objects in our airspace. According to the memo, the US Air Force F-22 Raptor shot down an unidentified object on February 11th. The memo further states that the specific function, method of propulsion, or any association with a nation-state of this unidentified object remains unverified. Additionally, there is no information available regarding whether this object poses an armed threat or possesses intelligence collection capabilities. According to the memo, the Canadian Air Force was taking charge of the aviation search operation in an attempt to locate the crashed object. However, given the limited information available, there was a pessimistic outlook regarding the chances of actually finding it. The Canadian Air Force was fully dedicated to this search mission, utilizing their expertise and resources in an extensive effort to find out what these mysterious objects were. The memo highlighted a concerning issue regarding the possibility of indigenous hunters stumbling upon the object while on their deer hunt. It further provided an explanation that, although Canadian Air Force CF-18 Hornets had been deployed to intercept the object, the F-22s were deemed to be in a more advantageous position considering factors such as time, space, and the diminishing daylight. The memo aimed to address the potential risk posed by the object's presence. In a comprehensive and neutral manner, the Canadian official Janice Charette, who at the time served as the powerful clerk of the Privy Council, sent a memo to Prime Minister Trudeau and his National Security Advisor, Jody Thomas. The Privy Council acts as a centralised hub that guides the country's public service and offers impartial assistance to the Prime Minister and Cabinet in making policy decisions. This council plays a crucial role in providing non-partisan support to the highest levels of government, ensuring that policy decisions are well-informed and carefully considered. The memo, which was dispatched by Charette, serves as an important communication tool to provide essential information and recommendations to the recipients. Charette expressed doubts regarding the nature of the object, specifically questioning whether it posed an armed threat or possessed the ability to gather intelligence. These concerns arose 3 days after the Canadian authorities and media provided descriptions of the object. During the press conference held on February 11th, it was highlighted that Canadian Defence Minister Anita Anand described the unidentified object as a small, cylindrical object, which was actually smaller in size compared to the Chinese spy balloon that was intercepted off the coast of South Carolina on February 4th. It is worth noting that this mysterious object was flying at an altitude of 40,000 feet when it was taken down. Anand's statement brought attention to the peculiar characteristics and circumstances surrounding the incident, prompting further investigation and analysis of the object's origins and purpose. One of the primary reasons governments withhold information about unidentified objects is the concern for national security. When unidentified objects enter airspace or airspace restrictions, it raises questions about potential security threats. Governments fear that disclosing sensitive information about these incidents could inadvertently reveal their defense capabilities, radar systems, or response protocols to potential adversaries. Moreover, admitting a lack of control or understanding of unidentified object encounters could undermine public confidence in national security institutions. Consequently, governments may choose to classify related information to maintain the appearance of competence and control over their airspace. These sightings often involve the observation of advanced and unconventional aerial phenomena. The fear of foreign technological advancements or espionage can lead governments to keep information classified. If these sightings involve experimental aircraft or drones from rival nations, governments may wish to keep such encounters discreet to prevent technological secrets from falling into the wrong hands. Releasing information about potentially revolutionary technologies could also lead to increased competition and a race to replicate these advancements. Governments may thus opt for secrecy to retain their technological edge. So, what do you make of these recent documents? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comments section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.